Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It's been so long since Mike's on the panel, he's still clapping when he comes to us.
I always clap, always do.
Along with Jason Lloyd and Mike McNuggets, I'm Adam the Bull. Anthony in for Mike on the other side of the glass.
Should I boo when we come in?
Mike in for G.
Yes.
Bush, who's sick today. Steve on the other side of the glass. Earl is home today. A lot going on. Everybody is out of sorts.
It's snowing out.
It's snowing, the road. Some people can't drive.
Yes.
There is no excuse.
Ann asked me when I came in, how are the roads?
Yeah.
I said, the roads aren't bad, but
They're
it's
fine.
But people are just...
There's no excuse. I said this right before we went on the air. If you're from New Orleans, if you're from Miami, if you're from Texas, if you're from California,
Atlanta,
and it happens to snow,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You probably drive terrible. I give you a pass. You're from Cleveland. 99% of the people on the road are either from somewhere in Ohio or probably another cold weather city, even if you are. Like, how many people that are driving out there are from Florida? Nobody. Almost nobody. There's no excuse. You should be used to driving in the snow.
It's still okay to drive a little slower than
A
you
little
normally
slower,
would,
fine.
But the people who go 33% of the speed limit
Yeah,
for a
ridiculous.
little sprinkle like we're getting right now is absurd. And I don't even have a truck by any means, but if it's a 40, you shouldn't be going 22 miles an hour.
And if you do, you got to, on the highway, get in the right
over.
lane.
Yeah, get over.
Yeah.
Jason?
Go ahead. Did you want to comment?
No,
on
I was just going to say that if you do try and drive normal,
Yeah.
you look like the idiot at that
Exactly.
point. And now you're blowing by people
I know.
and causing a
Like,
situation.
This guy cuts. I'm in the left lane. Nobody was driving actually on 90 in the far left lane for whatever reason.
Yeah.
The snow, it hadn't been,
I was.
cleared at all.
But, you know.
But I was in the left lane that people, like some people were using, but most people were in the two right lanes, right? So I'm going, speed limit. Not usually I drive above the speed limit. I know you do, but whatever. Like a lot of people do. But I was
Throwing
going
me under
speed
your
limit,
bus.
whatever. And this guy who's going slow, he like cuts in front of me, and he's driving slow. I'm like, dude, if you move to the left lane, you got to drive fast. You got to keep up with the pace. If you're in the right lane and I get annoyed, that's on me.
That's on
in the
you,
right lane, do whatever you got to do. But if you're in the furthest left lane that's being used, you got to keep up with the limit there.
We went to Germany last year around this time to see my...
they drive like crazy, right?
Well, so my brother-in-law's he's stationed in the Army. That's why we went there.
Right.
And he said in Germany, like, everybody follows the rules. Like, that's just what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody will pass you on the right, which
Right.
I do all the time. And he said, he said nobody will do that here.
Yeah, people are more polite.
But if you do not pull over, like if you're in the far left and you don't pull over, they will be on you, flashing.
Like
okay,
you got to follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
If you don't follow the rules, you get harassed. If you follow the rules, we will leave you alone forever.
Here, we just pass you on the right.
Right.
So I visited my sister in Germany 2 years,
that's right.
2023, and we drove out. She lives in Munich, and we drove. It was probably an hour outside of Munich to some mountain lake. We did like a little camping trip, and we took the Autobahn to get there.
Yep.
You know, there actually is a speed limit on the Autobahn,
What is it?
like 200. Like
Well,
there is
not 200
it's
miles.
like 2 kilometers, whatever it is. But it's essentially, if you're going faster than your car could actually go, we will pull you over. And because I was assuming there was no speed limit, you go as fast as you want.
Right. Yeah.
None of their cars, because most of the cars over there are either smaller, compact cars.
Right,
you don't see a ton of SUVs like you see
Again,
over
they're
here.
not, like us.
And
green.
I asked my sister's boyfriend at the time, who was driving us, like, hey, how fast can your car go? It's like 120 kilometers.
That's not that fast.
It's not that fast. It's like 80.
Yeah.
So on the Autobahn, everyone has their foot all the way down.
Yeah.
And that's why it feels like there's no speed limit, but there actually is a speed limit. It's just their cars can't
Nobody's
reach
car
it.
goes that fast.
Just for reference, it's about 124 miles per hour.
What's that?
200 kilometers?
Yeah,
200 kilometers, 124 miles
If you
an
hit
hour?
that, you're going fast. Like
You can go 200 kilometers?
if your car can go,
that's
you can
super
go.
fast. I've never driven that
For the
fast.
record, I've never driven 124 miles an hour.
The fastest,
I want that.
The fastest I ever went was 100. Very briefly. You went faster than that? I hit 100 on the New York State Thruway, which is 90 once it gets into New York. And it was a beautiful sunny day in the middle of the summer. I was driving the radio station van, a straightaway. There were like no cars. And I was like, I'm going to see if I can get this to 100. I did it for like 10 seconds, and then I
You in
slowed
a
down.
van?
In a van, yeah.
That can't feel. I mean, your 100 and Jason's car's 100 feel very different, or would feel very different.
Well, I
How
got
did
an
station-
SUV.
how did no, I'm saying your station van.
Oh, the station.
How did
van,
that
yeah.
feel going triple digits?
I mean, it was so long ago.
whole
I
thing was
barely
probably
remember.
shaking.
That
It was a
worried-
new van. It
Oh, wow.
They had just gotten it. So, but it did it fine. I don't remember it. I don't remember it standing out as being like shaky or anything like that.
In my defense, if there's nobody on the road,
Yeah.
you can go 100 really easily.
Easily,
in my
yeah,
car,
yeah.
and not even like you're gliding. You don't even realize.
yeah,
you're
the
going
nicer
that
car
fast.
you have. I remember. I don't even know if I've mentioned this, but
I don't know
probably
if that's really
have.
defense, but that's what
30
I'm going
years
with.
30 years ago, I remember I was working in an oil company, and my boss had a brand new Lexus, and I would take it. I was like the gopher at this oil company, and I would take his car.
Were you a
once
landman?
What's that?
Were you a landman?
I was the landman, basically. Yes, I was his landman.
I'm gonna call
I
you
was Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah. By the way, I started watching it again. The end of the second season picked up.
Yeah.
I stopped watching season 2. I had gotten bored with it.
Oh, I love it.
But I
I mean,
went back, watched the final few episodes. The last few episodes were great.
Yeah, 2 wasn't as good as season 1.
No,
but I still like it.
but the last few episodes
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
The first half of the season was boring. It was too much relationship.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would drive his car once a month. I'd take his car to get it serviced and whatever. I didn't even know the car was on half the time. That's a brand new Lexus in whatever it was. I don't know, 1992 or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it was top of the line.
Yeah.
I'm terrified driving super nice cars that aren't mine. God forbid something were to happen.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that I played college basketball with
Yeah.
who worked in the Heat organization a while back.
Yeah.
And he was the lowest level video guy.
So he drove people's cars.
Pat Riley would ask him
Oh
to
my
take
God,
his cars
that's a
out
lot
and
of
fill it up
pressure.
with. He's a horrific driver. He was by far. When we went on road trips, like, he was
Yeah.
the one because some of the D3 schools you play
Yeah.
like 20 minutes. We would take vans. Like we would
Yeah,
drive
right.
ourselves. We didn't always have a team bus unless it was.
You would drive yourself?
Well, we had like team vans, like Emerson College vans, as opposed
Yeah,
to
but
taking
the players wouldn't drive.
Sometimes we had 3
Really? We
assistant
never did
coaches
that.
and
All right.
4 vans depending on how many guys
Yeah.
were healthy. We would take buses for the longer trips.
Right.
He was
Anyway,
guaranteed
yeah.
not allowed to drive. Like he was not
He was
allowed.
that bad.
And then he's texting
Driving Pat Riley.
I mean, Pat Riley's $500,000 Bentley. I have to go get.
That's a lot of pressure.
He swears nothing was dinged.
Yeah.
Pat
Well,
Riley,
Pat
kept
Riley must
asking to go
trust him, I
back,
guess,
so,
right?
And then also, Jason, am I allowed to read this text?
Yes.
It's from your wife.
Oh, come on.
Well, you got to read it now. Go ahead.
So shout out to Jason's wife for
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Find something else to do.
I have inside sources into the Lloyd household.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Seriously. she talks to him when she talks to me.
She's calling BS on Jason, saying he's barely driven over 100. Quote, he's driven well over 100 in my car, and God knows how fast in his.
You've been talking about being thrown under the bus. Boom!
Back and rolled back and
Well, I
forth.
told the story about we were driving to
Yeah.
the airport in Detroit, and we were in
Yeah.
a car, and the hood was going like that. I was like, "What's the matter? Did you not latch the hood?" She's like, "No, I just
Yeah.
don't drive at 98 miles an hour."
Yeah.
That's under 100.
You're
though.
a
That's under
man
100.
out there. But anyway, the people who drive and can't handle the snow, just don't drive.
Is it supposed to snow all day, all weekend? Do we know how?
I don't know.
I think
Weatherman,
it's
what the hell do I know?
I stopped looking at the forecast because it's
It's
cold.
been the same every day.
Yeah,
It's
awful.
awful.
It's like living in Siberia right now.
Channel-
This is-
It's been awful. It
Channel
hasn't
3
been above freezing in almost 3 weeks.
Channel 3 tweeted out this morning, this is the coldest 3-week stretch Ohio's
Yeah,
been in
it's been
since
awful.
77.
Oh my God, I'm not surprised.
Since
It's been the worst
77.
winter since I've lived here.
Yeah.
Although I think next week on Tuesday or Wednesday it's supposed to be 40 degrees, so we'll get a 1-day rest.
You wearing shorts?
I'm wearing shorts.
I'm going to
probably
the pool.
will.
I'm going to the pool.
Yeah, right. It's going to feel really warm. All right, let's talk some sports.
Yeah, guys,
Anthony,
before
get
we
us
get
going.
into
What do you
Cavs
got?
today, I got to remind y'all about the Charge. Experience Charge basketball at Public Hall this season. The Cleveland Charge, the NBA G League affiliate for the Cavaliers, are back in action for their 5th season in Cleveland. Charge alumni like Dean Wade and Sam Merrill and two-way players like Naquan Tomlin and Tristan Amaruma show the NBA G League is home to the future stars of the NBA. The Charge hosts Special Olympics Night presented by Cleveland Cliffs on Saturday, February 7th at 7 against the Greensboro Swarm. The Charge will partner with Special Olympics and take the court in polar plunge-themed jerseys, and the first 1,500 fans receive a Charge blanket. Tickets are on sale now at clevelandcharge.com.
You know, it's funny. We get to the trade deadline. The Cavs unfortunately didn't get anything done yesterday. But real quick, I was in the gym this morning, and I like to walk in the basketball gym, and like 3 or 4 older guys, like older than me. One guy was probably like late 50s, 60. The other 2 guys looked like they were mid-60s at least. And they were playing basketball, and I'm thinking, if I can get in good shape, maybe I could play, I'm going to be 55 this year. Maybe I could play in like over 55 basketball game next year.
I love that.
And dominate! Dominate! I'm kidding. The Cavs are going to try to dominate the Eastern Conference after acquiring 3 new players via trade. We hoped there'd be one last blast of excitement yesterday, guys, but that did not happen. It seemed, I know you guys both thought it was a sure thing that they would do something yesterday because they made that trip of the trade of Lonzo Ball and gave up picks. That trade, I mean, again, I don't care about Lonzo Ball at this point because obviously he turned out to be a bust this year. And in the grand scheme of things, I guess I don't really care about the second round picks. But why, in the end, did they give up those second round picks? Do you think they thought they had something and it fell through, or
no money? They cut $60 million off the tax. That's really what it was.
So he gave up assets to save $60 million. He's a multi-billionaire, isn't he?
And I've said before, Dan doesn't really.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's never really been worried about the money, but I mean, in this instance, Lonzo was giving him nothing.
Right.
So, and they weren't. So I think yesterday, what I overinflated probably Strus's value, and Porter's value. Well, Strus is hurt.
Yeah. That's
so I had Strus been healthy, they probably could have got some. I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing. If Strus was healthy, I think they could have got something done. I told Mike before the show.
Yeah.
I was kind of poking around on like why couldn't they get under? And I had one team say like, yeah, I was surprised too. I thought I thought they should. And then another one was like, what are they going to do? They're out of assets.
Yeah.
And Strus is hurt. You're not going to get any value for Max when he's hurt. And they sold low on Darius because he was kind of a distressed asset. They traded for a distressed asset that I think fits better than what they had. But they weren't going to sell low on Max as well.
Okay.
And I thought maybe they could attach Porter to Nance to get something, and Porter didn't have any value either. So they still needed another pick to attach.
And they have no picks to trade.
They're out.
Or they had.
They could do a first-round pick, but they were going to give up
out.
a first-round pick to get underneath. And I heard something similar that, there were talks with Strus in particular, but the return that other teams were offering in exchange for Max Strus just wasn't worth the potential benefit of Strus coming back and being healthy. So to dump another asset, even though Strus is, I think Strus has more value than you were giving him credit for yesterday. And because he's hurt, less value than I thought he may have had. So we were somewhere.
So we split the difference.
Somewhere in the middle. But I was surprised they ended up not doing anything. I did think they'd get under the second apron.
But they couldn't.
At the end of the day,
Craig Porter Jr., we thought he had a little bit of value. He has no value.
Exactly. So I understand why they decided to hold on to it.
Yeah.
I do think being a second apron team through the end of the season and the future implications that has by freezing that 2033 first-round pick, not being able to trade it, could come back in the end to haunt them.
It's frozen for a couple of years. It's not just like get out of it next year and it's back.
Right.
This is it's a multi-year process. So it's not a big deal now. It's 2026. Nobody cares about 2033.
It could be, though.
2028, you might care.
Yeah.
So it's a problem for down the road.
Right.
It's not an issue for today. Ideally, it would have been better that they got out of it. They couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
Some people are like, who cares? It's not a big deal. Well, it kind of is. But
it matters, but it doesn't matter that much.
It's a could-be issue. It's a future Cavs issue. And I asked Kobe on the post-deadline call, like, hey, you were close, you shed this much.
Yeah.
Why not? He essentially said, we feel like we have a championship-caliber roster as is.
Yeah.
And the only way we were getting onto that second apron was to trade one of our playoff rotation guys. And we weren't willing to sacrifice a chance at this championship run for something 7 years down the future. And when you look at it from that perspective, I agree with Kobe. I actually think that's the right move and the right approach for the team to take. And when you look at this big picture, so I know we're going to grade the whole deadline in a sec.
Yeah.
I think the Cavs got better as a team. They got more versatile.
You're stealing thunder from our other subject right now.
Not really.
Yeah, you are.
And they saved $100 million. So at the end of the day, it's a
do you
good.
repeat yourself in a 5-hour show on the radio? I think
all the time.
I think you can do it once.
All the time.
That
doesn't stop me from busting these balls about.
What did I repeat?
No, you didn't repeat anything.
The other Cavs topic is how do Mitchell and Harden fit together? We didn't even get into that.
I don't know about that.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Go ahead.
No, that they got better and they ended up saving $100 million in luxury tax money, which, once again, it's Dan's money. I don't really care about Dan's money.
Yeah.
But they got better and saved money in the big picture, which I think at the end of the day is a win if you're going off a simple win-loss.
I don't think we judged it based on saving money. I don't. What? That's a non-factor in terms of how we grade it. That only benefits Dan.
Why
My shoes are wet.
That was the loudest shoe squeak I've ever heard.
I got squeaky shoes.
You heard that, right? I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ant, did you hear that?
I thought a car in the garage.
No, that was.
Yeah, that was just my squeaky
Those
sneakers.
were both 18-wheelers on a
That's
seat.
it.
I
That's
mean,
it.
ultimately, they took the biggest bad contract they had and dumped it.
Yeah.
That was their last big move.
Right.
And I thought they might be able to have one more in them, and they didn't, and it's whatever.
All right, so let's give our grades now. Do you need to do a read before we do this, Anthony, or no?
No, go right into it.
So
You start, Bull. You're the ball knower.
let's look at what they did here, wise guy. Who did they add? Jason, take it easy.
I don't know why that hit me so.
Hey, my God. All right, so who did they add? They added James Harden.
Yes,
They added Dennis Schroeder.
correct.
And they added, what's his name? Ellis. I was going to say LaFonso Ellis. It's not LaFonso Ellis. He's long retired. Keon Ellis. Who did they get rid of? Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, Lonzo Ball.
And 3 second-round picks.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Those are you've added 3 players. You've subtracted 3 players, right?
Yes.
So how did they have a spot for Tomlin if they added 3 and subtracted 3? Am I forgetting something? Did they ship somebody with Hunter?
No, they had 14. They had the roster spot before.
Oh,
Then they added
but
the
they
extra
got 2
They
guys.
got 2
and
for one.
That's why they had.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fine. All right. So
Threw me for a second.
yeah, again, to me, well, you do whatever you want. To me, I'm only grading based on the 3 players. I don't care about the money.
Yeah.
I don't care about the second round picks that much. You want to, whatever. What's your grade? Go ahead.
I gave him an overall B+.
Yeah.
I genuinely think adding Schroeder and Ellis fits the defensive style that Kenny Atkinson has tried to impose this season on the team, and they didn't have the assets and the horses to kind of run the defense he wanted. They were weak at point of attack. You add a guy like Keon Ellis, who might today be their best point of attack defender. You got a legitimate backup point guard in Dennis Schroeder, who's been in the playoffs before, has been a lead guard on a team. You add James Harden, who in a simple 1v1 swap with Darius Garland, down the road may not be better, but right now is a better player. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He's more durable. He's a better player. The fit with Mitchell, we'll get into it a little bit later, but your ceiling raises with James Harden. And the reason I can't give it a full A is I still have my concerns about their front court depth. And I thought there may have been ways to address that. I'm going to say something, Bull, that I know you're going to hate.
Oh, here we go.
Dean Wade's their third big right now in a playoff
Oh,
series.
boy.
So I was hoping that would have been like the cherry on top of a overall great deadline for the Cavs because they still don't have enough front court depth, in my opinion. Maybe it's Thomas Bryant who emerges. Maybe Larry Nance finds the fountain of youth. Maybe Dean Wade shows us something in the postseason that's shown us before, but I just don't love the depth in the front court. So I give him a B+, a very solid B+. And if this was as simple as a winners-losers column, the Cavs unquestionably a winner of this deadline.
Jason.
Yeah, I co-sign everything you said. I thought they were the biggest winner of the deadline. The Knicks did well for themselves, but I thought the Cavs added the best player who was traded in Harden. I can't believe I'm saying that because I've trashed James Harden for years.
Yeah.
But I do think he still has value, and he still will fill a great need on this team, and he'll fill a great role on this team. I think he's going to unlock things for Evan and Jarrett that weren't there previously, the way he runs pick and rolls, the way he can throw lobs at the rim. I mean, I've been hard on Jarrett the last couple of years. Jarrett could really sort of reach another gear
It's going to be the best he's ever looked, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So what Jarrett is defensively and offensively, I think Harden could be great for him. And James is bigger, stronger, more durable. I wrote this morning, this is a trade 3 or 4 years from now. It may look a little rough. But right now, you're trying to win right now. You can't worry about 3 or 4 years down the road. So if James can help them get to a Game 6 and Game 7, hope and pray to God Donovan plays his best game in that Game 7, and you don't have to count on Harden for that. So overall grade, I'm right in Mikey's range of B+. I had to do a hit with Ken and Lyman this morning. The Harden trade itself, I said was an A. It's fine. I said that was an A.
Yeah.
And the overall deadline, the fact that they couldn't quite finish it off and get out of the apron. And again, it's not for this season. It's not that big of a deal this season, but it just sets up to be problematic down the road. They have to eventually address that. They are thin up front. It is something that they'll have to look at. Hopefully Dean can make some shots in the playoffs, which he has not done to this point because he does all the other things, but you've got to make shots to be able to stay on the floor in a postseason series. So overall, I thought they had a great deadline.
Guys, give me 1 second, see if I can credit somebody else there, Anthony. I think we have breaking news here from the National Football League. according to Ian Rappaport, Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz is walking away. The team tried to bring him back in the fold, but it wasn't to be. One of the top coordinators is now out, as Cleveland will need to fill that important role on Todd Monken's staff. Again, Schefter has it too. Jim Schwartz sent the Browns a resignation letter this morning. He is now, and Schefter says he's now likely to sit out the season.
Well, he's under contract.
Yeah.
I said yesterday, I thought the Browns should do the right thing and let him out of the contract.
Right.
He
was determined to not be here.
I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah.
I talked to someone who knows Jim well, who
Yeah.
had just spoken to him, who told me I would drop dead if Jim walked back in that building. He
Right.
didn't think there was any chance of it happening. Jim had made up his mind and said his goodbyes, so I'm not terribly surprised this is how it went. It's a loss. It's not irreplaceable. It is kind of wild that this is where we landed on this, given how hard they were pushing Jim on all the candidates who were coming in the door.
Yeah.
And then they lost him anyway. But, now you got to look for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, listen, in the end, the Browns had to hire. We could question their ability to make decisions, but their decision brought them to Todd Monken as the best head coach. And that's more important than the defensive coordinator. You got to have the right head coach. So they thought Todd Monken was the best head coach. Thus, you deal with any circumstances that come or ramifications that come from it. And this is an unfortunate ramification. The Browns, you could say whatever you want. You could call him a baby. You could say they don't need him. Here's something that I don't think, if you're being fair, nobody could disagree with. In a the Browns would have been better off if Jim Schwartz had not been angry and he had just stayed as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no way to deny that.
Yeah.
So don't make excuses. You
Yeah.
can kill them all you want. Don't pretend this doesn't matter at all after 3 years of saying it was the best hire that the Browns have ever made.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are 1,000%
But in the end, you
right.
had if you wanted this head coach, you had to take.
One of my complaints with how the Browns do things is they just build everything on a spreadsheet without taking into account human emotion.
That is correct.
And that's how you wind up with a Dylan and Shedeur situation. That's how you wind up with Deshaun hanging around this roster for all of these years.
Yeah.
It's how you wind up with all these guys that have allegations of violence and sexual assault in the locker room. And this is how you wind up in a situation like this. So we'll just what's the big deal? We'll just make Jim the defensive coordinator. Yeah, we'll bring him in for an interview. We'll bring him all the way to the end.
Right.
And then I'll give him the job. He'll be fine with that.
Yeah, right.
They don't take into account the human emotion of a locker room element. I wonder what Jim's reaction would have been had they told him, you are not a candidate to be the head coach.
Right, if it would have been different.
Maybe it wouldn't have been. We may have been in the same
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, right.
He may have said, well, why do I
not?
not even get a look?
Yeah.
How are you hiring that guy and I don't even get a look?
Yeah.
So maybe we wind up at the same spot anyway, but we'll never know.
Monken said at his press conference on Tuesday, whenever it was, that he anticipated most of the defensive staff staying in place regardless of what happened with Jim Schwartz, right?
Yeah, well, especially if he's going to, I don't know if it's retire or sit out the year.
But whatever, but he said a lot of the...
It's not like they had it. If he had gone somewhere else, he could have taken some with him potentially.
So
but
if they are able to keep the rest of the staff or the majority of the defensive staff in place, I'm going to assume, and this is just a guess, that they're going to promote one of the guys that were on staff to the defensive coordinator position.
Right.
Because this entire defense was built around what Jim Schwartz wanted to do. Jason pointed out on Monday, they drafted Mason Graham 5th overall, defensive tackle, because he fit Jim Schwartz's system. Devin Bush was a guy who thrived in Jim Schwartz's system. Myles Garrett, who we'll talk about in the next topic, just won his second DPOY unanimously because partly Jim Schwartz's defensive system and scheme. So a lot of the pieces on this roster fit what Jim Schwartz wanted to do. And we talked about Brian Flores as a head coach candidate, and he runs a different defensive system. And all that, if you're not going to bring Jim Schwartz back, to me it doesn't make sense to go bring in a defensive coordinator that runs a completely different scheme.
Yeah,
now,
they're not going to do that.
because it's so late in the process and you have so many pieces of the puzzle already there to fit the defense that Jim Schwartz set up. So my best guess would be Jason Tarver, who's the linebackers coach, would get promoted, and he's spoken highly about across the league. I don't have nearly as many NFL connects as Jason does, but anyone who ever mentions Jason Tarver speaks about this dude like he has a chance to be a really, really, really good defensive coordinator, maybe even a head coach at some point. So that'd be my best guess on who gets the promotion.
I don't think any Browns assistant coach has ever become a head coach, right?
Somebody pointed out Lindy Infante to me. I think I missed him, and that might have been not on the defensive side. In the 80s,
side, yeah.
I think Lindy Infante left the offensive coordinator role to be the Packers head coach.
To go directly
from one to the other. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that that a lot of these guys will stay. You wonder if any of them resign as well. Probably not.
Probably not.
They don't have Jim Schwartz money. Probably.
Well, where are they going to go?
Or they can't follow Jim Schwartz.
Jim's not taking a job.
Yeah.
So
it seems that way.
I do think that they'll probably at least make a couple interviews with external guys.
But this is a loss, guys. There's
It's
no
100%
way
loss.
around it. I mean,
Absolutely.
This is a loss. It's something you have to deal with. It's not the end of the world, but the Browns were better off with Jim Schwartz as their defensive coordinator.
That's
and
why
now
they
he's
pushed
not.
him so hard on everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
And it's just, in the end, I guess it doesn't matter, who's to blame. It's easy for me to assume the Browns are to blame here and not Jim Schwartz. I know some people want to blame Jim Schwartz. It doesn't really matter how you got here.
I don't think you have to have a good guy and a bad guy in this. I think everybody shares in a little bit of the.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Jim handled this well at all. But ultimately, I would let him out. I would let him out of the contract.
Yeah.
We could agree Jim may not have handled this the right way. If all the reporting and the search process is accurate, then I don't think the Browns handled this the right way either. I think there could be two wrong sides here, not necessarily a right one. And I think that's kind of just the reality of a guy in Jim Schwartz who, I don't know him at all, but he's a prideful guy.
Yeah.
Wears his emotions on his sleeves. You can see that even during the games.
Yeah.
And clearly felt either disrespected, betrayed, choose whatever word you want, by how this whole process was handled.
I would have had less respect for him if he would have made this whole big stink and then come back.
Came back.
Yeah. I got respect for the guy. He was pissed off, and he was done. Yeah. And the money didn't matter. He gave up the money.
Jim has what you call FU money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the spot that everybody wants to be in one day. So what's the scene? What movie is it with John Goodman when he's talking about invest in a car and put your money in the bank, and then if somebody pisses you off, tell them F you and leave. It's a great clip.
He's the money shark with Wahlberg.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'll find the movie name for you. I don't know.
You remember? I doubt we can play the clip on the air. It's some cursing in it. But go look. It's exactly what Jim just did. It's exactly what he just did. Well, I have respect for it, too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying all week is like a lot of people thought, well, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Well, if you have enough money, then you could tell the boss to stick it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did here. So,
one more thing on Schwartz real quick. And he did a terrific job in his 3 years here as DC. He did a terrific job. I want to make sure.
Oh, boy, now you're about to insult him.
No, just was it him or was it the fact that Myles, Garrett, and Denzel Ward are two elite players? Like how many defensive coordinators do you think could have came in and gotten at least similar level production from a defensive unit that was loaded with talent? I know a lot of this
I think he gets a ton of credit. Obviously, Denzel and Myles are great, but they were always great. And the Browns, Browns had one good year with those guys with Joe Woods, but the whole time Jim Schwartz is here, they were 24, they were decent. But 23 and 25, they were very good.
23 was the splits. Like my point is, I don't think the Browns defense was as good as some people.
Well, you were the one giving all these crazy stats about it. The best ever, best.
I gotta find something.
Let's see. Yes, we
I
all agree with that. But overall, through 3 years, it was very good.
Yes.
With two superstars, and you had guys play well that nobody heard of. JOK looked like he was going to be out of the league, and then he became a good player. What's his name? Oh, my God. Schlesinger. Everybody thought it was a reach taking him.
I mean,
he was a superstar as a rookie.
Devin Bush.
Devin Bush had been a bust.
Yeah.
Malik Collins seemed like he was finished. Ronnie Hickman was a nobody. Who's the corner they traded for?
Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell.
Yeah.
That guy was like, well, whatever.
Once again, I'm not taking away from what Jim Schwartz did. He did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think the overall counting stats of this defense in 23 and this year, which made it look like they were a top 5 defense, I don't think they were that good.
They were a top 5 defense. I disagree with you.
They were the number 2 defense in yards allowed.
It doesn't matter. They were a top 5 defense this past year and in 23. Considering how bad the offense is,
they were a top 5 defense in 23.
Yes,
despite the home road split.
Yes, 100%. They were top 5. Could they have been 6th? I don't know. They were in the conversation of top 5. Certainly were top 5 this year. I mean, what they had to overcome with the most pathetic offense we've ever seen. They had so much pressure on him, and they for the most part played well. So he deserves a lot of credit. Obviously, Myles deserves a lot of credit. Denzel Ward, they're superstars. did he help them? Sure. Would they have been great without Jim Schwartz? Yeah, but I don't know about some of these other guys.
I mean, that's true.
So will the Browns defense still be good next year?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
they got a
will
lot
be
of
good,
talent.
Yeah.
Do I think there might be a little step back? Yes. But even if Schwartz were here, I thought there might be a little step back.
It goes back and
Defense
forth,
ebbs
yeah.
and flows more than offense.
Well, 23,
offense
24,
is just
25.
based on the quarterback, mostly.
Well, look at 23, 24,
Right,
25.
exactly. So, but this is a hit. You can pretend it's not a hit.
I'm not saying it's not a hit.
Yeah.
Like, it certainly
But
hurts.
there are going to be a lot of fans trying
Yeah.
to play this off as if it's
No,
nothing.
it absolutely hurts. I
Yeah.
just think he's more replaceable than I think we're giving him credit for.
Well, everybody's replaceable.
I mean, if he was that irreplaceable, they would have made him
Made him
the
the head coach. Absolutely.
Exactly. That's my point.
All right, Anthony, go ahead.
All right, guys, we're going to stick with the defense here, but before we do, I want to remind everybody to go follow us on all of our social media accounts. Mike and I have been putting together some ideas for a little behind-the-scenes content, so go follow us over on X at AltCleveSports, Instagram under the same name, and TikTok for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You can find us 24/7 with clips from the show on all three. All right, Bull, to keep with the defense here, we got 2 awards from the NFL Honors last night.
Yeah. Myles Garrett, big surprise on both of these. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year, and Carson Schlesinger wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know what there is to say. There was no debate. Was he unanimous also, Schlesinger?
He was not. He got 40 of the 50 first-place votes.
Okay. Who finished second?
Nick Emanwari, the safety for Seattle.
Oh, yeah, right. Is he banged up going to the Super Bowl?
He's a little dinged up.
Yeah. All right, what do you guys got to say about this?
So when it comes to Myles winning DPOY,
Yeah.
it's now his second DPOY. I was just trying to put it to context, like the historical achievement that is. There have been 9 guys in the history of the NFL that have multiple DPOY awards.
Yeah.
Just 9. Guys that have won it twice include Myles Garrett. And if you could pull the list up, there we go. Ray Lewis,
All Hall of Famers.
Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Mike Singletary, and Joe Green. So those are the 6 guys who have had it.
I think you said there were
twice.
9.
There are 3 players who have won it 3 times.
Okay,
That
Lawrence
includes
Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor, J.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald.
Yeah, every
But what-
player on that list is either a Hall of Famer or is about to be a Hall of Famer.
What's maybe even more impressive from a historical standpoint,
Yeah.
there have now only been 2 unanimous DPOY winners. J.J. Watt in 2014 and Myles Garrett last night. Just the second time in the history of the award that a player's won it in unanimous fashion, 50 out of 50 first-place votes. And Myles Garrett's now the second.
Yeah, it is amazing. I think part of that is some of those awards, like before sacks were even a stat, it was maybe harder to determine who the Defensive Player of the Year was.
When did they even start giving that out?
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually don't know when the first DPOY
But it has to be in the
was.
80s because Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. I would say it's probably right around then.
Yeah.
I would think.
When they made sacks an official stat. Could it be tied together like that?
I
I mean, unironically, not that they started making sacks a stat, but
The first award was in 1971.
1971,
Oh,
the year
wow.
I was born.
Way earlier
Great
than
year.
I would have guessed. I would have thought the 80s.
And then when did stats become sacks?
sacks were 82.
82.
Yeah.
So another
yeah.
decade.
'Cause-
So does DPOY mean more to you than Coach of the Year?
Yes, it does.
I agree.
It does, because
I agree.
when Kevin Stefanski, no knock at him, Kevin Stefanski wasn't the best coach in the league those 2 years. He did a good job. He was the coach that overachieved the most.
Yes.
Who won? Vrabel won it last night.
Right. Coach who overachieved the
Is he
most.
the best coach in the league?
I don't think so.
I don't think
No.
so either. But he's up there.
It's just
He's
like,
one of them.
yeah, sure. And Kevin Stefanski did a nice job those seasons. But like the coaches on the teams that are expected to be good don't get even considered.
Right.
Which are whatever. Whereas that's not the case for Defensive Player of the Year.
Correct.
You know, Myles Garrett was expected to win. People didn't hold it. It wasn't the guy who had the most surprising defensive season. That that would, I guess, be comeback player of the year. But
I mean, he was the clear winner.
Yeah.
You can't make a case for anybody
no,
else.
there was no argument
this
for
year.
anybody else. No argument. Look at the cowboy hat. I didn't see that. I like that.
He can. I mean, he's from Texas. He can pull
Yeah,
off the Texas
He
look.
can, man.
Oh, he's a giant cowboy.
He was the walkout when we were at the Morgan Wallen concert. I took
Oh,
summer.
really?
I took AJ on the second night. Remember they
Morgan
had,
Wallen a man or a woman?
A man.
He's a man.
Okay.
They had the Browns played a
I don't know
preseason
country
game.
music.
Yeah, Browns had
Yeah.
a preseason game that afternoon.
Yeah.
They flew home and he did the walkout with the hat and everything. I was like, man, he's got the look. Like, he's a cowboy. He for sure.
Well, it's from
can pull it
Arlington,
off.
which is
Miles Garrett could pull off anything.
anything. Yeah,
I mean,
anything.
Yeah.
The guy is a statue, basically. I mean, he's a perfect looking human being. He's really If you look at like body and fat, like, he's a good-looking guy. He's in perfect shape.
Yep.
You know, I wish I could be him.
When it comes to Myles,
Yeah.
like to your point, no one was surprised. DPOY, best season he's had,
Yeah.
unanimous. I'm like hesitant to even think or ask, could he be better? But do you think Myles could be better? Like, is there? We kept
I don't
saying
know
for
that
the
he
first
could play
2 years.
any better. The only thing he could do that would top this year is if he broke the sack record again and then had big moments in the playoffs. But what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean, he can't get the team to the playoffs by himself.
Right.
I mean,
I know
that
you-
season led to 5 wins.
Yeah, I mean, like you said in our chat, like, can he be the GOAT if he never wins a championship? I don't even accept that for football necessarily, although I know a lot of people would disagree. For example, you know, your boy Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame. To me, he is not a Hall of Famer. He is not a Hall of Famer.
He ain't in yet.
He was a compiler. He was a very good player. But to me, you got to be great. And Eli Manning was never the best, never even a top 10 player in the league, let alone the best player in the league. Whereas, like, Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the league. He's not even close,
I agree.
right? And so if he retired today, would I say Myles Garrett is the greatest defensive player of all time? I would not, only because, and it's not fair to him necessarily, I just saw Lawrence Taylor do it in the playoffs. You know, I saw Reggie White do it in the playoffs. It's not fair. I'm not going to hold it against him. I say I'm not going to hold it against him.
It sounds like you're holding it against him right now.
But I kind of am. But I think they're all on equal footing right now. I got to see Myles Garrett do it longer, play at this high level. But I think by the time he retires, you know what? I just contradicted myself, really.
Well, what's funny is, who is the greatest pass rusher of all time? There is no consensus answer.
I think most people would say either Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White.
What about Bruce Smith?
He has the most sacks.
I mean, that's a pretty good case.
I don't think
You know,
Bruce
but
Smith-
Hank Aaron had the most home runs for a long time, and nobody thought of him as the best home run hitter.
Yeah, but there's other ways to gauge a baseball player. I don't know.
No, but even as a home run hitter, even though he was the all-time home run king, you never.
But like LeBron has the most points in NBA history. I don't think anyone would say LeBron's the greatest scorer of all time.
I'd call him the greatest player of all time, but I'm biased.
that's-
I totally
Yeah.
admit I'm biased. But the point, like,
yeah.
there is no consensus as to who is the best.
No, but I think now Myles Garrett is in that group of four with Bruce Smith, Reggie White,
I mean, he has to keep going.
and Lawrence Taylor.
He has to keep
so
going.
yes,
He has to do this for
I won't,
5 more years.
In the end, if he plays at this level for another 3-4 years, I will put him up to the top, even if he doesn't have those playoff moments. But if he gets a chance to have the playoff moments, again, zero his fault that it hasn't happened, then that will skyrocket him past everybody. But when his career is over, if he does this, plays at this level for a number of years, I will eventually, even though those guys did it in the bigger moments, not his fault, I will eventually put him ahead, I think. But you can already make a case, potentially.
I think he's up there already.
He's the best player of all time. It's hard to say. Like, how do you determine if he's better than Lawrence Taylor?
Right.
Or if he's better than Reggie White?
Right.
All that matters is he's in that conversation.
Yeah.
That really matters. You know, everybody can make
Of
their
this
own
of this era, he's the best pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean,
And
the only, you have J.J. Watt, you have T.J. Watt. Is anybody else in the and, Aaron Donald's a tackle, but so it's different.
yeah, Donald's in a different classification.
But in terms of defensive ends, only the Watt brothers are the only ones in the conversation. But to me, he's better than all of them.
And White won a Super Bowl. LT obviously has Super Bowls.
Yep.
Bruce does not.
No,
Got there,
but he
couldn't
went to
win.
there 4 times.
Yeah, got there and didn't win.
Yep.
So we'll see with Myles.
Yeah.
On Schlesinger,
Yeah.
it's the second Browns rookie to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. Do you know the first?
Do I know the first?
I'll give you the year.
Is it? Okay, give me the year.
82.
Clay Matthews?
No.
82. Defensive Player of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. 82.
Was it a pass rusher?
I've never heard of the guy, full disclosure.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, it was 11
not
years.
saying
It
much.
was 11 years before I was born.
Frank Minifield.
No.
I thought it might be somebody random.
If I give you his initials, will that
Not
help?
coming to me. Go ahead.
CB.
Chip Banks.
Yes.
I was thinking that, but I thought it was too early.
Chip Banks in 82.
He played for the Giants.
I've never heard of Chip Banks in my life.
He's a good linebacker.
Yeah.
He was.
You should know him. He played for the Giants.
I don't know. But Schlesinger led
Yeah.
all rookies in tackles for loss, run stops, had 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Like
He was so impressive.
He was a
as
runaway.
rookie.
And I also want to shout out our guy Oshie. And what band's Oshie in?
I found out it's pronounced Ashi.
Ashi.
but
What
it's
band's
Beartooth.
Ashi in?
Who's Ashi?
Maybe our most famous daily viewer.
Yeah.
He put in a $50 bet on Schlesinger to win Defensive Rookie of the Year before the season. and
No.
won $1,500. So shout out to Ashi.
Ashi. Who is Ashi? What's
He's
he
a
famous for?
bassist in a big metal band.
Yeah, he's a bassist.
Oh,
from
yeah, you
Columbus.
mentioned him before. I thought you were
Really
friends
nice
with
guy.
him. Isn't he a friend of yours?
I mean, I met him once.
Oh, I thought he was a friend, and I was confused because, like, how do you not know how to pronounce
he's
his
like a
name?
legit rock star.
So he's in a metal band.
Yes.
Watches every day.
Really, really nice guy. Just got engaged. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Shout out Ashi, man.
And Beartooth, if I'm ever going to become a metal fan, Beartooth
That's the name of the band?
Beartooth?
Yeah, Beartooth.
That's a cool name.
It's a cool name. Cool name.
Is that making me old that I've never heard of them?
I mean,
No, they're relatively new.
I mean, heavy metal is not in the pop culture right
hey,
now.
Turnstile just won a Grammy, so we're getting
Turnstile?
there. Yeah, they've been
Is that
around
heavy
for
metal?
10 years, and they finally.
I think
won a
Aaron
Grammy.
might get into. He loves the rock music. I was driving. I'm driving him to school, and then I drop him off, and then I go to the gym, and he's like, "Dad, can I make you a playlist for your workout?" And I'm like, "Okay." And in like 2 minutes, he made me a 1 hour playlist on Apple. I have no idea how to do that. And he put some like heavy songs. He likes some of this. He's wearing like Iron Maiden shirts.
That's awesome.
But I mean, that's old school heavy metal. I don't know if you know. Do the heavy metal? You like heavy metal?
Yeah.
Like, do the young heavy metal people like bands like Iron Maiden?
Yeah, Iron Maiden's great. I love them.
Is Metallica? That's controversial whether they're heavy metal or not, right?
Yeah, I mean, Metallica headlined twice last year at Sonic Temple. 2 nights of the 4
Yeah.
nights. So they're still big.
I'll tell you a heavy metal song by a random band, and then we'll move on. That you might be shocked that I've even heard of this band. Lacuna Coil.
I don't actually know that one.
Look at that. I know a heavy metal band. I think it's a female lead singer, and there's one really good song, but I can't think of the name. I bet Ochi knows who Lacuna Coil is.
You mean Ashi?
Ashi. I bet Ashi knows who Lacuna
Maybe
Coil
Oshi
is.
knows too.
Maybe he does. Maybe Oshi and Ashi. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Look cool.
with Schlesinger,
Yeah,
real quick,
Schlesinger.
though. Obviously, they drafted him
Shitbags.
33rd overall.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting, and me and G and Earl were doing
Yeah.
the live post reaction. We were like, they have all these holes on offense that took an off-ball linebacker who I'm not
You guys are not the sharpest tools.
I'm
in
not
the
a
bag.
draft Nick. I'll be the first to admit, like, I get into the positions I think the Browns are going at, but I don't know all these prospects.
Yeah.
He went from a walk-on
Yeah.
to an All-American to a second-round pick.
He wasn't even a starter
to
his
defensive
senior year
rookie
at the beginning of the year.
It's incredible. His trajectory and progression through the ranks of the last 5 years of his life has been absolutely
It's
insane.
amazing.
When they drafted him, and I rely on G. Bush for a lot of this when it
Yeah.
comes to the draft stuff because he does know as many. He was like, I heard of him. I don't love what I saw, but I can't believe they took that over Shedeur or the offensive play. Like, they had so many other offensive
Yeah.
holes. And turns out, what a freaking good pick by
Carson
Andrew Berry.
Schlesinger
What a
is
damn good pick.
arguably the only draft pick in Andrew Berry's entire 6-year tenure that has way outpaced his draft slot. Is there anybody else?
Can I pat myself on the back for a second?
Please.
When I was out on panel last summer and I did my music topic,
Yeah.
Schlesinger was my prediction to be Defensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year.
Look at Anthony.
If you
Okay,
go back and find it. I told him.
All right.
he
Well,
was
I'm not
gonna
going to
be
go
the
back and
best
find
draft pick.
it, but I believe you. I don't need to go back and find it. I'm a trusting person there, Anthony. I believe you if you say that you said that, and I'm impressed. You should have bet on it.
I should have.
You might have $1,500 also right now.
I don't gamble.
Probably smart.
So your question was other guys that Berry has drafted that have outperformed their draft
I
slot?
think he is the only guy.
Does Fanning count?
So Fannin was drafted in the 3rd round. I think for a 3rd round tight end right now, I'd say maybe a little.
Yeah, he has. He has.
But we're doing the next topic, which is the redraft.
Yeah, he would probably be
much higher than 67.
That's true. Okay, you're right. Those two. Because Schlesinger would be, Graham would be drafted later than 5.
Well, do we want to go to the redraft? Because there's
Yeah.
literally
Okay, let's go to that. Yeah,
do agree. Let's get to the redraft because those two guys
Who
are
did
in the
this,
redraft.
by the way?
ESPN.
All right.
Hey guys, before we do our redraft, I want to remind everybody about Mally's chocolate. All you need is love and chocolate this Valentine's Day to be ready to say those 3 little words, I got Myles. From friendship to love to every situationship in between, Myles has the perfect chocolate to say what you feel. Our famous chocolate-covered strawberries and grapes are back in stores February 13th and 14th, and the rest of your Valentine's Day favorites like gold cup assortments, foil-wrapped solid milk and dark chocolate hearts, peanut butter, caramel, and raspberry filled hearts, and so much more are in stores and online now. This Valentine's Day, say it with Myles.
Love Myles. We appreciate them being a sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So ESPN did a redraft. I like these things 3 years later. I think that's better, but I still enjoy
They do,
this.
by the way, they do 1 year and then 3 year ones.
Oh, good.
So this was the 1 year, obviously, because
Right.
2025. But
So what's our first graphic on this, guys?
I got 1 through 6 going first. Is that what you want?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. This would be the new top 6.
and there was no trades involved. So this was people drafting
where
their
they
actual
were in their
spots.
original spot.
So the Browns had the second pick in this
Yeah.
recoup.
Now, if let's say we could go back a year in time, would you take Tyler Shuck over Jackson Dart? We'd obviously take one of them at 2.
Take one of them.
I'd take Jackson Dart.
I think I would
biased.
take Dart. I mean, listen, it's 2 and 3, so
Right.
you're splitting hairs.
I guess it's who do you think is going to be better? I think the biggest concern with Dart right now is that
Is the health.
The injuries.
he's got injured a bunch of times.
Yeah, I mean, Shuck's not exactly a model of clean living. Look at all the
His
injuries.
Right, but he didn't get hurt
His
in the
health issues come
NFL.
from college.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still,
But yes, he had a lot of injuries in college.
his
You're
body
right.
is still his
But
body.
didn't Dart have 2 concussions, or am I crazy?
He went into concussion protocol 4 times.
4 times? Yeah.
Have you seen the way he scrambles?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who scramble don't
Head
get
first.
concussion protocol 4 times.
It is the number one thing he has to work on this
Yeah.
offseason is not taking gigantic hits to the
I
head.
watched more of Dart than I did of Shuck, but I think I would take Shuck because I'd be concerned about 4 concussions.
Well, he had
Or
2
4
concussions, went into protocol.
Still, 2 concussions as a rookie. That's
Yeah.
alarming.
Yeah.
So Will Campbell is offensive lineman, right?
And he was, so Cam Ward was the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Shuck went 40th.
Right.
In this redraft, the Browns
Dart
take him
went
at
20-something.
25th. So Dart goes from 25 to
Right.
3. The
Campbell
Giants
went
end up
4.
with him anyway. Campbell went 4. Hunter went 2nd. He
Right.
ended up with the Jaguars
Interesting
anyway.
that they still had him 5th. I mean, he had an injury-plagued season. It's funny because I don't know what they're going to do with him next year. Right before he got hurt, it seemed like he was starting
He
to
was
come
starting
on.
to break out, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Membu went 7th.
I don't know Membu.
He's the offensive tackle, played very well for the Jets this year.
Okay.
He went from 7th to 6th. And take the next one, Steve. This is 7 through 12. They had Abdul Carter going 7 in this redraft. He obviously went 3rd in the real draft. Tet McMillan went 8th. He stays 8th. Kelvin Banks Jr. went 9th. He stays 9th. Colston Loveland went 10th. He stays 10th. Emeka Ibuka went 19th. He moves up to 11.
What did Ibuka finish the season with?
He started out really strong. I'm not sure what his final numbers were, but he tailed off. Then Tyler Booker went 12th in this redraft.
Let's
stayed
face
12th.
it, guys. Mason Graham's a good player. He might turn out to be worthy of a first-round pick. He might be. I mean, he's really good.
He went 21 in this, by the way.
But you'd rather have either of those quarterbacks or either of those wide receivers, Ibuka or Tet McMillan. You
or
would rather-
either the tackles, offensive
Or the
tackles.
tackles.
And this is the danger of what we fall into sometimes
Yeah.
around the draft. Because, I mean, I said last year, how many times did I say that
Yeah.
they're telling you it's a 1-quarterback draft? Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It
No.
wasn't a 1-quarterback
Now,
draft.
it
it's
seems like it wasn't. We got to see how these guys
Sure.
pan out in the long run.
But certainly you got more out of Dart and Shuck already than I
yes,
think any of us
it
would
looks
have
like it
expected.
was a 3-quarterback
So
draft.
when you sit here today and you say, well, you don't want Ty Simpson and you don't want Garrett Nussmeier, you don't
Right,
want
right,
this. Okay.
Right.
Well, a year from now, we very well may be
And a
sitting
lot
here.
of that's groupthink, Jason.
Yeah,
This is a big problem in
100%.
sports.
Yes,
You know, once you see a
100%.
couple of mock drafts saying those guys aren't that good,
Which is why I said I am paying you for your evaluation.
That's right.
I don't care what those other people say.
Yes.
We need a quarterback. You tell me if one of these quarterbacks are worth taking.
yeah. And maybe Todd Monken loves one of these guys.
Yeah.
And,
And
it's gonna
if he
surprise us.
does, stand on the table and draft him,
That's
whoever it is.
I don't care. I mean, if the Browns draft some quarterback we're not expecting at, what are they, 6?
6 or 24.
I don't care. I'm not going to kill him for it. If Todd Monken and Barry, I'm going to have to trust them. I don't. But I have. What choice do I have? He's the GM of the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
If they believe in a guy and you think he's going to be gone by 26, then you take him at 6.
Just to continue with the redraft thing real
Yeah.
quick, because then it's going to hit into a couple of different side conversations. They did 2 rounds of this. So the
Yeah.
Browns' 3 picks in this 2-round mock draft
Right.
was Shook at 2. They ended up taking Fannin at 33, by the way, who they ended
Right.
up getting at 67.
Yeah.
And then they took Jihad Campbell, the linebacker for the Eagles, who had a good rookie season,
Yeah.
instead of Quinshon Judkins. They did have 4 picks the Browns made, and if you go to the next graphic, These are the Browns picks that went elsewhere.
Yeah, and the
in
Browns,
this
the 4
redraft.
picks that we knew they did well with.
Mason
all
Graham,
went in the 2 rounds.
Schlesinger went 19th to Tampa Bay.
That's what I was
Let's see
wondering.
it here.
It's the very next graphic.
We don't have a 339 underneath here, Mike. Sorry about
Well, I'll
that.
tell you. It was Schlesinger went 19th to Tampa Bay. Mason Graham went 21st to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Fannin went 33 to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then Judkins went 39 to Jacksonville.
Okay.
So they had 4 guys they drafted go in the top 40 of the redraft,
Right.
just in varying orders.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, when you have 4 guys that are worthy of top 2 round picks, which they are.
Who was the biggest fall? Do you know? Like, was anybody taken high in the first round?
Not
that
you
fell
mean
out
just
of
in
the
general,
first
not
round?
the Browns, but
Just in
well,
general.
they only did 2 rounds.
Yeah,
anybody drafted in the first.
in the top 10 that fell out of the first
Well,
round.
I'm sure the
entirely.
Bengals' first round pick was not in the top 2 rounds.
I will
don't
tell
know
you
who
one
they
sec.
take.
Shamar
They
Stewart.
took
Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart. Yeah, I doubt he was in the top 2 rounds. He didn't do anything.
I just wonder if
There's probably a handful of first round picks.
I wonder if Graham can't be the farthest fall. From
No,
No,
sure.
no.
No, that's not that bad. I mean,
No,
you see,
it's not.
He shouldn't have been a top 10 pick, but he's worthy of a first round
in the
pick,
first
yeah.
round.
I mean, the Brown. Listen,
If you do a
As
redraft to Corey Coleman the year after, he's not in the first round.
As much as there's guys that you'd rather have taken than Mason Graham, in the 15, 16 years I've been covering this team, he's one of their best first round picks. I mean, most of their first round picks have been trash.
yeah.
So I'm not going to. It's not a terrible pick.
Right.
There were better options, but anyway.
So would the Browns, while this loads, would the Browns be better off if they got this redraft scenario with Shook? They got Fannin, they had Fannin, and Jihad Campbell. Long term, they would be right now with the guys they actually have.
We feel as much as you'd lose Schlesinger, which would be a loss. You'd lose Judkins. You would have had 1 less pick, and you'd lose Mason Graham. You'd have Campbell instead of Schlesinger. Okay. Ultimately, it depends what you feel about Tyler Shuck. But yes, I would trade it. I would trade those 4 guys for these 3 guys because I think Shuck could be a top 15 quarterback.
I mean, it goes back to what we said about. I mean, we just got done saying Myles could go down as the greatest of all time at his position, and they made the wrong pick because it was a Mahomes draft.
That's right.
Like, that's insane.
That's right.
But I agree with you.
Yeah.
They should have taken Patrick Mahomes. And having the benefit of hindsight,
Right.
information.
We weren't talking about
Nobody
it.
was saying it.
No, as much as we're obsessed with quarterbacks,
Yes.
not once in that process did I ever say Browns should draft Patrick Mahomes.
Correct.
Correct. But
And so that's why, I mean, they came away with players that you feel really good about at the top of the draft, and that's great. But until they solve quarterback, nothing else matters.
that's right. And that's why ultimately, as good as those 4 players are, the Browns drafted 4 guys in the first 3 rounds that are all worthy of being second-round picks or better. And yet, you would probably trade it. Most people would. Now, obviously, if you're a diehard Shedeur guy, you're going to say those people right now are freaking out because they're saying, "What are you, crazy?"
Yeah, there's a lot of people crying right now.
Right. But, and again, we don't know. Tyler Shuck is not a short thing. He hasn't
100%.
played enough to know he's a short
None of the
thing.
quarterbacks from last
But
year.
if you
sure.
ask
He
me,
certainly has showed you enough to be
right.
excited.
And again, the Saints stink. It's not like he had a washed-up Alvin Kamara, and then he got hurt. They have nothing else in their back. Their backfield's absolute trash.
Olave's good.
Olave's a good wide receiver. He's better than Jerry Jeudy, but that's it. Who else did they have?
Not a lot. Taysom Hill.
Yeah, but he's a gadget player.
The one thing I
Using that much.
can't get my mind off. Steve,
Yeah.
will you pull up the graphic of the Browns picks from last year, like the actual picks with Mason Graham at 5? When you have high picks, me and Earl were going back and forth on this the other day. You have to be so sure if you're taking a guy at certain positions that aren't premium positions at that draft capital because they just don't come around elsewhere. Like premium left tackles almost never, if ever, hit free agency. Premium quarterbacks never, if ever.
To be fair,
hit free
premium
agency.
anything does it. It's not like premium defensive tackles in their prime come up.
But like
become free
Javon
agents.
Hargrave a couple of years ago was coming off a great season when he
Yeah.
hit free agency. Dalvin Tomlinson, who signed with the Browns, was coming off.
He wasn't elite.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The Jets just had a defensive tackle. They just
Quentin
traded.
Williams had just traded.
Yeah,
Like there are certain
Yes,
positions.
it's easier to get a defensive, and there
Edges.
aren't as many elite. Like, I don't know. Like defensive tackles just don't make as obvious an impact as other positions. It's still important, but
I'm not. And Mason Graham's not a miss. Like I'm
No,
not
he's a
saying,
good
I'm
player.
Not saying
He's a very
miss.
good player.
But when you look at the picks that came after him in the real draft, in the actual
Yeah.
NFL draft, after him, Ted McMillan.
yeah,
Did he win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't know.
Who won Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I will look it up 1 second.
I think it was Ted McMillan.
Should have been.
You had 2 left tackles.
Yeah.
Or 2 tackles
Yeah.
going the picks after. Membu and Kelvin Banks turned out to be really good players.
Right.
The Browns are going into next season with 0 offensive linemen you feel confident in. 0.
And 0 wide receivers.
And 0, once again, it's not a Mason Graham knock. It's just there are
Ted
certain...
McMillan did win offensive rookie.
It was Ted McMillan. There are just certain positions that I think you have to value more at those top premium
teams generally
picks,
do.
Which teams generally do. And when you look at that Browns draft class, defensive tackle, good. Linebacker, very good. Tight end, turned out to be really good. Running back, those first 4 picks, all very good picks. They don't fill the premium positions, and teams that don't have guys at premium positions don't win many games.
And it's so funny because the Browns are reportedly the most analytically driven team in the league, and yet usually teams that follow that path are not, are more focused on the primary positions, and they haven't done that, right? The Browns have not, with Andrew Berry, have not drafted a quarterback in the first round.
A receiver in the first round?
Have not drafted a receiver in the first round.
A pass rusher?
They drafted a left tackle once, or a tackle once, and he was a bust.
And a cornerback and a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And if you want to include their first pick in another draft, Mike Hall was their first pick, another defensive tackle.
Yeah, and he's a bust.
Has not been what you needed so far.
All right, Anthony, what do you got for us?
I got a little Cleveland Charge read for you guys here. Experience Cleveland Charge basketball at Public Hall this season. The Cleveland Charge and the NBA G League affiliate of the Cleveland Cavaliers are back in action for their fifth season in Cleveland. Charge alumni like Dean Wade and Sam Merrill, and two-way players like Naquan Tomlin and Tristan Ananumara. I'll learn the pronunciation of that for you. Shedeur, the NBA G League, is the home to future stars of the NBA. The Charge hosts Special Olympics Night presented by the Cleveland Cliffs on Saturday, February 7th at 7 against the Greensboro Swarm. The Charge will partner with Special Olympics and take the court in polar plunge-themed jerseys when the first 1,500 fans receive a Charge blanket. Tickets are on sale now at clevelandcharge.com.
All right, we get back to the Cavaliers here, guys. And before we get to some specifics with James Harden, who's going to make his debut tonight, right?
Tomorrow,
right. They play tomorrow at Sacramento, and then they're home, and then it's the All-Star break.
No, 2 games on the road, then they're home.
Oh, 2 more games. Right, Sacramento and then Denver.
Yes.
And then they come home for a bad team, right?
Wednesday
for
Washington.
Yes.
And then they're off for the All-Star break. After that Charlotte game, by the way, have you seen what the Cavs schedule looks like after that Charlotte game?
Gets tough.
They got 2 games with Detroit, 1 with the Knicks, a couple of good Western Conference teams. It's going to be a fun stretch to see these guys developing.
You know what? But I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I'm excited to watch the Cavs play.
100%.
And I haven't been. I mean, how many times Mike would say, we got to do a Cavs show this week? And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there and go, well, we're doing the same show we did last week and the week before that. Like, it was the same thing over. And, I'm now genuinely excited to watch this team and see what this looks like.
100%, especially when they start playing good teams, which they will.
Yeah, that's the way we say that.
Yeah.
Once we get through this little.
Yeah, I mean,
even against Brooklyn or Washington, we're going to watch the evolution of what this team is starting at and where they're going to end up by the time the postseason comes along. How they incorporate these new pieces. How James Harden and Donovan Mitchell fit together. How the bigs learn to play in the pick and roll with James Harden. What does James Harden look like when the ball's in Donovan Mitchell's hand? How does Schroeder, who doesn't necessarily fit with James Harden.
Schroeder or Schroeder?
Schroeder,
okay,
sorry.
No, I didn't know. I've heard it both, so I want.
How does Schroeder, who is not a natural fit with James Harden in terms of their play style, how does he fit in alongside the other guys? There are so many little nuances now that have changed in the last 2 weeks since the Cavs started making these moves that are going to make, regardless of opponent, the next 30 games of Cavs basketball a lot of fun.
I never got a chance to give my grade on the Cavs because we got interrupted. It was obviously breaking news with Jim Schwartz. So I just wanted to give a grade. I actually give a grade higher than you guys. I'm giving them an A. You guys gave B pluses, and that's because the only criticism, like they didn't get under the cap or the second apron, that will hurt their ability down the line to trade some picks. But I think, to me, I'm looking at, it felt like for a while that the Cavs were going to do nothing. How many times did we say, well, they're stuck in the second apron? I was going to say double apron. And this is the team, and you just got to hope they turn it around. And as you said, Jason, now I wasn't excited. I had no interest in watching the Cavs. I had to force myself to watch the Cavs.
Yeah.
It was painful. And even though they were playing better, there was nothing exciting about it. And the fact that Kobe, for all the criticism we've had at times of him, he did not stand pat here.
Nope.
He could have easily said, let's see what we can do. The team's playing better. Let's see what we got. And he put his you-know-what on the line, trading for an older guy, and a guy who's been a disaster at times in the playoffs historically. And yet he said, let's do this. We'll figure it out. You got 2 nice pieces to add to the team. You get rid of Lonzo Ball, who was a total disaster. You get rid of DeAndre Hunter, who just, I don't know, just something was off about him. And even though people like Garland was never going to stay healthy. It was never going to happen. And he's just a guy you can't rely on. And so you took 3 guys, and obviously Darius Garland's been an all-star. He's a very good player. I'm not trying to say he's not. But he's an unreliable good player who's flawed. And James Harden is also flawed, but in a different way, not as flawed as Darius, and it is reliable, right? And that's important. And I don't know what Schroeder and Ellis's history are. They're not injury-prone guys, are they?
For the most part, no.
So you added 3 guys who you know are going to post, and to me that's important. So I think you've lengthened the quality. You've improved the top of the roster, and you've lengthened the quality of the roster, and that's hard to do when you would think that was impossible to do as a second apron team, and they did that. I think they have a better chance of winning. I think they have a reasonable chance of winning the East at least. And this is going to keep us interested through the rest of the year, and certainly when the playoffs come. If you would have told me this was what the Cavs were going to do 2 months ago, I would never believed it.
Yeah.
And so I think we've all said this 10 times recently. Man, I never liked James Harden. I can't believe I'm saying this about James Harden.
Yeah.
But I'm excited right now about James Harden. Maybe I'll be regretting that in a month, but right now I am.
And I don't think it's just the emotion of the trade. Like, I think there's valid reasons to think that he will fit here.
Right.
And I would be patient as he and Donovan sort of figure this out.
Yeah.
As 2 ball-dominant guards.
It'll probably look sloppy at times, right?
Yeah, I think these are 2 guys that like to play with the ball in their hands. So they have to work through that and figure that out. And it will take 10
It might take 30 games. No, it might take 30 games.
Yeah, cut me off. I was going to say 10, 15, 20.
Sorry.
It might go to the playoffs. I wrote that today. It may take all the way to the playoffs for them to figure this out. But the most important thing is they're both motivated to make it work. Mm-hmm. And that's 3/4 of the battle, is that they are invested in this. They both want this.
Yeah.
So it's not one guy going,
Yeah.
So I do think, and I said this yesterday, I like the first trade better now with this. Because I didn't love the Hunter trade at first. It felt like there was more to come. Clearly there was more to come.
Yeah.
And now when you look at the totality of the package, I think everything fits together better.
Mike has a reputation of cutting people off, but we'll give him an opportunity now.
Well, I'll dive into the specific, fit in 1 second. The one thing I wanted to mention with the Hunter traded, we're parts A, B+, we looking at some of the cap stuff a little more, whatever.
Yeah.
Hunter was their third big before the deal. Mm-hmm. So when they got rid of Hunter, and they didn't necessarily replace that, it's just putting a lot of emphasis on Dean Wade, who I know you love. So that's just a lot of pressure on Dean to stay healthy and make some shots in the playoffs.
Well, let me ask you this: in theory, couldn't your closing? I mean, your closing lineup. Let's think about the closing lineup come playoff time. You're going to have Mobley in there. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Harden in there. You're going to have Mitchell in there.
Tyson.
You're going to have Tyson in there. So who's your 5th guy? Is it Allen?
Wait, say it again. It's James. It's Donovan.
Tyson.
Mobley.
Isn't that wild that's Tyson?
Yeah.
He's played that
so
well.
Who's your 5th guy in the closing?
It depends if Kenny wants to go 2 bigs to close, which he has not shown the propensity to want to do.
Right. So who would your 5th guy be? Everybody's healthy.
It could be
in
Max.
that case, it's Max or Dean Wade. So you go super small with Max,
Can't
or
have
you
Dean Wade.
Well, then you can't give it an A for the trade deadline because they didn't address
Why?
that.
Why do I have to be big? Why do I have to be that big?
Or you go super small and have 4 guys under 6'5".
Then it has to be Max.
Is James under 6'5"?
No.
James is 6'5".
Yeah.
Tyson's
He's good
6'5".
size.
Tyson. I mean, those guys are big for guards.
Yeah.
Well, you're guarding a 6'10" guy, and they're like.
Are you? And what team?
I mean, if they're playing New York and you have 6'8" Anunoby, 6'9" Mikal Bridges, 7-foot Cat, 7-foot Mitchell Robinson.
Mikal Bridges is dumb as a stump. He ain't making the right play.
You have to give Dean the chance early in these playoffs. You have to play him.
He has failed every time.
So, but that's why I gave it a B+.
So some of the other guys. But you have to. You have
Give
to.
Dean
You have
Wade
to
a
try.
chance.
He had a lot of injuries one year. Last year there was no excuse. He just didn't play well. I don't think he was hurt last year, was he? Down the stretch.
My memory does not say.
What
he
about
was.
what's his name? The big guy.
Thomas Bryant?
Yeah.
Can he barely trust him to play in a regular season right now? I can't imagine.
Isn't he? He's not better than Dean Wade.
I mean, Dean
does a lot of good things. It's
Yes.
just, can you count him to do those good things in a playoff series, which he has not shown the ability to do yet?
Right, it doesn't matter.
Do it.
If you're useless offensively, it doesn't matter that you can defend.
Say again.
If he
I have
can-
ADD and I was reading
Yeah,
my
no.
watch.
If he
Say
can
it
make
again.
an open three,
Yeah.
it's all worth it.
Right.
But he has to
that's-
make the open
That's
three.
not what I said. If Dean Wade can't do anything offensively, then I don't care that he can play defense. It doesn't matter. You got to be able to score.
Well, that's what the Tomlin conversation, the Naquan
Yeah.
Tomlin. I don't think you can play him in a series extended minutes because you can't. You have to make shots to play in a playoff series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dean has got, but you can't go to the playoffs saying, "Well, we can't play that guy." You have to play him.
Well, then why-
And then if he plays himself off the floor,
Yeah.
so be it. But you have to give him that opportunity.
Wouldn't it make more sense, honestly, to have Jared Allen out there in the closing five with Harden? If you're going to have Tyson, Harden, and Donovan and Mobley, I think Allen
so,
would really makes the most sense.
Kenny has not shown the want to close with
But
two
he hasn't
bigs.
had these other guys.
Honestly, it depends on who you're playing.
That's a
it depends
big
on the
part of it,
matchup.
too,
Yeah.
If you're playing a team with 3 giants out there,
Then you're playing the
probably
Knicks.
Want,
You're going to have
Playing the Knicks.
probably want Jared
How
Allen.
big is Ellis?
6'4",
All right, so he's not big either.
I don't. Is he even that? Is he
6'3".
really?
He's long and athletic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's and
He's
Schroeder's
not. He's
tiny.
not big.
Yeah.
He's not tiny, but he's not big.
So,
But he's a good defender.
Yes.
great defender.
Can he defend a 6'7", 6'8" player?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
So maybe he's part of the
It
closing
might
team.
be. That's why I
Yeah.
said I think it's matchup dependent, and
Yeah.
a lot of these, who's hot, who's feel like with a lot of the stuff.
I think what Kenny's done to this point, to some degree, you got to throw out the window because there's different. James Harden just changes everything. James Harden replacing Darius Garland may change your other decisions about the closing team.
I'm just going off what he's shown in the last 2 years.
Right, but
he doesn't like closing
but
with two bigs.
Yes,
It can change.
But he may want to change that
Yeah.
now that he's got a second superstar scorer on offense. Like he may be more likely to.
And we'll see if the Allen Harden pick and roll becomes as dangerous an offensive weapon as I think it can. You look at James Harden's career, by the way, not just last 2 years. This goes back to literally
he makes big guys
the
better.
OKC days,
Yeah.
and it started to take off in dramatic fashion when we got to Houston.
Yeah.
Every rim running big he's ever played with, he has made a gajillion dollars for. They've had the best seasons of their career.
Yeah.
Rim running in particular bigs, which Jared Allen fits the mold of to a T. The best seasons of their career with James Harden. I was talking to a guy who coached James Harden at one of his previous stops. And I said, all right, tell me how you think this is going to fit with Donovan Mitchell. And he's like, it's going to be a little weird because James likes things in a very particular way. James Harden wants everyone to stand still.
Right.
Because he is going to be the best, and this coach said he's the best in the world at it.
Yeah.
When everything's standing still and James knows where you're supposed to be defensively, which he knows where you're supposed to be if the offensive guys aren't moving so we could see the whole court picture.
Right.
He trusts himself and is going to make the right read 98 out of 100 times. And whether that's getting to the lane, whether that's throwing the alley-oop to the big man, whether it's kicking to the corner, an elite one-of-one level passer, but he wants everything standing still. The only movement he wants is the pick-and-roll action where the big is rolling and he's going.
But Donovan is not used to just,
That's why it's going to be an interesting mix and how
Right.
it works together because Donovan's, in my opinion, Jason, I don't know if he's kind of best in chaos. He's best turning the corner, getting downhill, attacking, putting the defense into rotations, and then attacking the mismatch in that situation, which is kind of counterintuitive to what James wants to do. But to Jason's point earlier, and Kobe said it yesterday, James picked Cleveland. He had a no-trade clause. He said, I will come to Cleveland because I want to play with Donovan
and
Mitchell.
we know that Donovan picked James.
And Donovan at least was okay with that pairing and said, this is a guy that I could see myself pairing up with to win a championship. So the fact that they are in lockstep with that, to me, even if the styles don't necessarily mesh like this, they'll find a way to make it work because great players make it work.
Yes, and I think two things. Number one, I was talking to an executive yesterday who said Jared Allen's about to play the best basketball of his life. To your point, that he will be impacted more positively with James's arrival than probably anybody else on the floor.
Okay, that's
100%
good.
agree.
And this is just me talking. I believe Donovan will probably have to shape his game the most
Yes.
Yeah.
to fit around James. And that may mean being a catch and shoot guy at times, which he's never been.
You know, it's funny, Jason. Sorry to cut you off, but I was just literally thinking when Mike was talking that Donovan has to change his game the most.
Well,
Yes.
Right? And what makes me enthusiastic about that is that my impression is Donovan is one of the least selfish stars I've ever seen in the NBA. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's my impression of him. And I think it seems like he wants to win so bad that he's used to more than James Harden, I guess, of playing off the ball some because Darius, had the ball a lot
yeah,
too.
he did. And I think James will have it more than Darius did.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Tell me
Yeah,
if
probably.
you disagree. No. I think Donovan will probably have to sculpt his game the most to make
Right.
this fit. And I don't think that's a bad thing because we've seen what this team does with Donovan in charge. It's a second-round team.
Yeah.
And I don't say that as a slight on him. I'm not trying to knock him. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity to save some wear and tear on him because how many times has this team been give it to Donovan and get out of the way?
Yeah.
And
he gets worn out.
It just wears him down.
Yeah.
His usage rates in the playoffs is outrageous.
To the roof.
And this is an opportunity to shave some of that and to reshape some of that. So I think that's why I'm high on this, and I know about Harden's failures. I know.
We all know, yeah.
And I was talking to somebody who knows James well and said he has to wear it. It is who he is. But it's not like he's never had a good playoff game. It just gets overshadowed by the disappointments that we all know.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not too late to change it.
That's not.
No.
It's never
It's
too
not.
late. You got a chance. If he leads the Cavs to the even if the Cavs lost to the Thunder in the finals, played a competitive series, James would get a lot of credit.
Yes.
And it would change your thoughts on him
They have
quite
to
a bit.
This team has to make it out of the second round. They don't have to win a championship.
No, you got to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I would argue you don't have to make the NBA Finals. You have got to make the
I
conference
think
finals.
to me, you got to, at the worst scenario, has got to be a competitive Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And
If they go out in the second round again, God
Right.
help us all, buckle
Right.
up, because I don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
after that. But if they can break through that barrier this
Yes.
year, get to the conference finals, I think everybody can say, okay.
Right. If they lost
at
to the
least
Knicks
it's a
in
step.
7,
Yeah.
we're not killing them. We're
It's-
disappointed,
It's
but
progress.
we're not killing them.
It's a step. We see the pathway now.
Yeah.
And
And then LeBron comes back to finish it off next year.
That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
So Donovan, throughout his career, by the way,
Yeah.
has always played best alongside a more traditional point guard. Like I've just believed that from the get-go. In Utah, I was with Mike Conley and Ricky Rubio at times. With Darius, Donovan's numbers are better when he's not the primary sole ball handler. Now, the way Harden plays point guard is different than a traditional point guard. Like they are not necessarily apples to apples, but Donovan does have legitimate NBA-level experience, and even going back to his days at Louisville where he was a catch-and-shoot, coming off screens kind of offensive player. Like he does have that experience coming off the ball. And Jason, I'm curious how you kind of see Kenny's have to stagger their minutes. Like let's say they play 35-ish minutes each. They're probably going to share the court for 20 minutes, and each is going to have 15-ish minutes to be the solo act, right? Like that's probably the way.
Yeah,
it kind of gets divvied up.
Do you think,
and
Mike,
when they're
as part of what you're saying here, do you think they kind of pair when they divvy up those minutes? Let's say it's 70 minutes total, so that's 48 minutes in a game. So there's 22 minutes, let's say 11 minutes each where they play by themselves without the other superstar. Do you think they purposely say, okay, Donovan and Evan, you're together for those 11 minutes.
Yes.
James and Jarrett, you're together for those 11.
And those will be those. But they're also.
And they're consistent with that, you think?
That
makes sense.
Kenny's already done that, by the way. They've been doing that.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
They've been doing that even when Darius was here.
Yeah.
I think it goes further.
Yeah.
I think there are certain. So, talking to this coach, right?
Yeah.
James wants guys to stand still. That he does not want the movement because he wants to be able to read it exactly.
So Strus is good for Harden, maybe?
No, I don't think. I think Strus fits more with Donovan. Sam Merrill.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Tyson. And I'm not sure how Kenny, and I think he's going to try them both.
Yeah.
Jalen Tyson is the most efficient three-point shooter in the league this year. Jalen Tyson and Donovan Mitchell have been really good recently in that short little pick and roll that they developed, right? Tyson is also their best standstill spot-up shooter.
Yeah.
I think Tyson pairs a little better with Harden and we're parsing hairs. Hairs than Merrill does because Merrill moves nonstop.
Yeah.
Merrill doesn't have the off-ball creation that Jalen Tyson does. So I think if you're going to split some of these guys, but I'm just trying to think big picture here, a guy like Dean Wade fits with James Harden. Allen fits with James Harden better than Mobley does, even though I think Mobley can become a monster in those pick and rolls too. I think Tyson fits better with Harden. I think guys like Merrill and Tomlin and Strus fit better with Donovan per se. Because like Tomlin, I don't think necessarily can play with James.
Right.
He's just not a shooter. You need guys that can stand in the corner and shoot. That's why you need Dean in those scenarios to play alongside as your second big with Allen. And how Kenny kind of finagles this. And Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder, we're going to see it. Schroeder, I had it right. Now that those two are kind of incorporated into the mix, how he kind of navigates the different rotations, seeing which tandems and which trios play best together with certain bigs. Like, that's why this game tomorrow night's I've blocked off my Saturday night to watch it. Saturday night, 10 o'clock Cavs game. When they come back and play the Wizards, and when they come back and play the Nets, and then they all start breaking on it. Like, well, that's must-watch, study tape to figure out what they're going to do.
Right, and he'll probably will experiment early on.
Oh, it's going to look a lot different in the playoffs than it will these next few games.
But big picture, the guys who you see coming off these down screens, I don't think necessarily fit into James Harden's version of the ISO Cavs as they do into Donovan Mitchell's version of those 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And when they're on the court together, you make it work, and good luck trying to stop them. There's a chance to be an absolutely deadly offense.
I think maybe I'm just being overly optimistic, but I think it will work. But as you guys said, it's going to take time.
Yes.
There's going to be moments where, like, didn't this happen with LeBron and Dwayne Wade a little bit, where they're like, now it's your turn, now it's my turn.
LeBron and Dwayne went through the my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, and you have to break out of that. It's natural early on to do it that way. You have to break out of that and just play within the flow of the game.
Yeah.
But I do think you got it when they're on the floor together. You got to pick a style. You're going to pick James' style. You're going to pick Donovan's style.
Right. It's going to be.
And James plays slow, and James wants to be slow. The Cavs this year have been trying to run. Like, that was one of Kenny's things. We want to be faster.
Yeah.
Every team Harden's ever been on since OKC has been near the bottom 5 in the league in pace because he's so deliberate in his movement. So it's a whole. You can look at it from two perspectives. The glass half full. You have options.
Yeah.
You can play slow. You can play fast. You can put all your shooting out there, run, defend, switch everything, or you can play super slow, super big, into more of a Harden style. The downside is, if you're not fully committing to one, are you good enough to switch back and forth in the middle of a game, especially come playoff time? But in the playoffs, the game slows down. Mm-hmm. It is significantly harder to score. More half court.
Yeah.
That lends itself a lot more to James Harden's style than it does to Donovan Mitchell's style. And we've seen Donovan but we've seen him try and go James Harden style when other guys have gotten injured in the past.
Yeah.
And he's capable of doing it for a night. Maybe 2 nights, but it's not capable of winning you a playoff series.
There's not many players that are capable of doing that, especially at his size. So it's going to be fascinating to see how they develop this chemistry. I wonder, do you think there's any chance Kenny Atkinson doesn't love this? Obviously, he'd never say it publicly.
No, I think he's a big fan. I think he's a big fan.
Yeah.
Because
he's going to have to adjust.
Yeah, but you would, and one of the points I was going to make earlier. Harden made it work with Chris Paul. And those two aren't a natural fit, right?
Yeah.
Harden's made it work with Kawhi, and Kawhi's not Donovan, but that's a different isocentric level of player, and Kawhi's an animal in his own right.
Yeah.
Great players make it work when they want to make it work, and these two are motivated to particularly make it work here in Cleveland with this roster.
Yeah.
Kenny, he's had great regular season success in both, Cleveland and Brooklyn. He had enough that it was something. He hasn't done anything in the playoffs yet. Kenny's still trying to prove it. This raised their championship ceiling. And at the end of the day, depth, all that, good players, you can win in the regular season. Stars win in the playoffs. And the Kenny Atkinson-led Cavs now have 2 legitimate, bona fide.
Top 10 players,
James Harden's not top 10, but
20.
top 20 players that you can count
3 top 30 players.
Yes.
Unquestionably 3 top 30 guys. Stars win in the playoffs. The Cavs have enough stars.
Let me ask you guys this. Can they sign a buyout guy?
No.
They cannot.
Second apron team. Nope.
So they can't add any players? No, there's no...
Jason, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe a second apron team you can get. They have no roster spots.
It depends on how much they made on the previous deal, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember what the threshold... I want to say $16 million if they were making $16 million or more on their previous deal, but that may not be...
There's no roster spots open anyway.
Yeah, there's no...
But you couldn't cut... There's nobody to cut? Could you cut
they're all on guaranteed contracts right now, I think, right? There's no...
Thomas Bryant.
Well, you'd have to pay them, but I mean, if there was a guy who's a free agent who's better than Thomas Bryant, is there?
Not right now.
That's going to get bought out.
I mean, Cam Thomas got waived. He's better than Thomas Bryant, but I want nothing to do with Cam Thomas in Cleveland.
Why? He's a bad guy?
No, from all accounts, he's a good dude. He's a 6'4" guard, but he's
no, we don't need. I'm saying if there's another big guy.
Oh,
I don't know.
I have to look at the second
buyout market.
Yeah,
it hasn't really been. I mean, I'm sure that there's a list of people.
Yeah,
I don't follow the league every single day.
But
anymore.
as a second apron team, can you acquire or buy a guy's second apron team?
It depends on how much
We'll have
they
to
made on their.
double check that.
I think it depends on how much they made on their previous deal. I want to say it's like $16 million, but maybe yeah, I think it is. But I don't remember off the top.
Let me
of
see.
my
I'll look it up real quick.
But I mean, more than likely, this is their team moving forward.
Right.
This is who they have.
and whoever they would pick up would be, your 9th, 10th, 11th guy anyway.
Yeah,
but
you're-
I was just curious if that was even an option.
Yeah.
Because we're obviously the biggest concern with this team now is your depth in the front court, and so is it possible to get another
Jason was
option?
right.
Go ahead.
Second apron teams can only sign buyout players if the player's previous salary was lower than the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which is $14 million.
So I mean, most are. So who is there any big guys that are candidates to be bought out that you can think of?
I'd have to go through and the only name that came up yesterday
Yeah.
that got waived of any significance was Cam Thomas, and he doesn't fit here whatsoever.
Okay.
I
know Lonzo Ball, but we can't.
I haven't.
We
paid
wouldn't
attention.
want him, and you can't bring him
No.
back anyway, even if you did want him.
I haven't paid attention to the buyout market. I'm just being
all right.
honest.
But that is a possibility, though. Like,
I guess
if
in
you were
theory.
going to cut somebody, who would you cut? Craig Porter Jr.?
Well, Thomas Bryant's the only guy that non-guaranteed,
Thomas
so
Bryant,
it probably had to be Thomas Bryant.
yeah,
Interesting.
I would assume, right? It'd have to.
I would think so.
He's a non-guaranteed contract. I think he'd be the only
Yeah.
one
Okay.
capable of. Wait, one last thing on the Cavs.
Yeah.
One last thing. Harden and Mitchell, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
do you think 30 games, when we enter the playoffs, on a scale of 1 to 10, Bull, and I'm going to ask you this next, Jason,
Okay.
how confident will we feel going into the playoffs with those two as an offensive tandem? Like, in 30 games, let's say right now it's at a 0 because we haven't seen them play yet. Where do you think you'll be on that scale of 1 to 10 and how confident you are in those two as an offensive tandem?
I would say I feel 9.5.
Wow.
I'm feeling very good about it. Them as a
Never heard
tandem.
Bull speak this highly of the Cavs.
Yes, I have. Just not recently.
I got a short memory.
When they had LeBron, I was high on the Cavs, but and I talked about them 2 years ago until they started stinking in the playoffs. But anyway, yeah, I feel really good about the team offensively, and it seems like for them to win in the playoffs, they're going to have to be a massive offensive team, right? Because their two best players don't play defense.
They're not going to be terrible defensively. I don't. Think
Well, you got Mobley, obviously.
You got Mobley, J.A.,
Yeah.
Ellis.
Tyson's a good
Tyson.
defender.
Yeah,
Drew's coming back, so you gotta-
they're not going to be terrible.
But you got the Cavs' biggest problem has been like some of the second, third level players have their scoring's dried up in the playoffs.
Their issues in the
usually
playoffs.
does.
Yeah.
It's been
And so
offensively,
now
not
having
defensively.
James Harden, for all his flaws, I feel like we say that every time. And yes, there'll probably be games where he's not good, but there'll be plenty of games where he's their best offensive player, even better than Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. And you have not had that. You have not had, since LeBron and Kyrie, two guys that can put up 40 anytime, pretty much.
Yeah.
And now they have that. So I think the offense is going to be great.
I was just thinking. So James Harden made the finals in OKC. Was it 13? It was LeBron's first championship.
That would have been
12. 13.
12.
Yeah.
12. So we made it in 12. They lose, obviously, to LeBron and the Heat. And James Harden had a very bad playoffs. That was when Miami figured out
terrible.
His dribble cadence, and they completely took him out.
Yeah.
He has his playoff shortcomings, but I also think he may have like a bit of a misconstrued playoff rep. In 2018, they were a Chris Paul hamstring injury away from beating the Warriors and going to
But
the
he had
finals.
a terrible Game 7.
He had a terrible Game 7, but was great prior in that series.
Right.
And
but those
No, I know.
There's been those standout
the
games.
Game 7 outweighed it all. And I'm not trying.
That's why I said earlier.
I'm not trying to say. I'm not trying to say that it shouldn't.
Right. If people are thinking,
he's
never going to play well in the playoffs, that's stupid.
He's been terrible in elimination games.
Yes.
He has had very good playoff games.
Yes. But he's had a handful of historically bad games in the playoffs that overshadow many more good games.
And they happen to be in elimination games, which are nationally televised with everyone watching.
Right.
But there's a chance he makes the finals in 18, right? Like they were a couple shots away, and they went 0 for 27 in that Game 7.
I think Cavs would beat them too if they made it. I think Cavs would have won a championship.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. So they went against that Warriors dynasty.
Yep.
And gave them as much as they could handle, as well as any team during that stretch could handle.
Yeah.
The James Harden-led Rockets got there. He's had game-winning shots in the playoffs before. He has been horrific playoff performances that can't be erased from history.
But has he, since the Thunder, has he had a better teammate than Donovan Mitchell?
I mean, do you consider, Kawhi. Healthy peak Kawhi is better than Don.
I guess, yeah.
And if you want, I have to go back and remember what part of the career Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook were when they played together in Houston.
Yeah.
But
Because
Russ was coming off his MVP stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's a better fit.
Yeah.
Donovan, from a fit standpoint, maybe the best fit.
Right.
Kind of alongside him. But it just depends on what you want to consider Kawhi. But my big point is, Harden is capable of having good playoff performances. He has had enough of a track record in the playoffs.
They don't need him to be great every game.
And the games that he's not good, that's why you have Donovan Mitchell. And that's why you have other guys that you can count on, so it's not just a one-man offense. And if he's off, you have no shot, which is what it's been for Cleveland the last 3 postseasons, where it was Donovan and nobody. And we've seen how that ended.
How do you think this addition of Harden affects Mobley? We've talked about Allen. And, maybe he's going to play with Allen a lot, but he's going to play with Mobley some. You think Mobley's three-point shot has been awful this year, especially lately. I think he's shooting like 20% over the last month or something.
It's bad.
Do you think he shoots less threes? Like, does this change his game?
I'm curious to see how this goes with Evan because I think that there's a chance that they tell him, like, just go be you. Like, don't worry
about the threes.
Don't worry about creating. Don't worry about, like, just do what you're comfortable doing.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance. I don't know.
Probably a smart thing to do.
I'm curious to see how it looks because those two guys are going to have their ball in their hands
all the time.
All the time.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for Evan to pick up more of like his usage rate's going to go down.
Yeah.
He's going to get less opportunities to create on the perimeter.
Right.
He's going to get less chances to kind of post up and initiate offense. Like I would guarantee 75 to 80% of their offense is being initiated by one of those two guards, or Schroeder, or whoever, like the guards. Like they're going to be a guard-centric team now. And will it hurt Mobley's development a little bit? Like, but
that's not important.
It certainly could. Yeah. It's gonna stunt a little bit of Jalen Tyson's growth too, because he's going to get fewer opportunities to be a creator. And that's the price of admission you pay to be a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
Like
right now, it's all about winning. It's not about developing.
Those are the sacrifices you make when you think bringing a guy like James Harden is going to push you to a level where you can actually compete for a championship.
Yeah.
I think Tyson, by the way, is going to thrive with Harden. I really do think that's going to be an awesome tandem, and he's going to make a lot of open corner threes, playing off the pick and roll between Harden and whoever big he's with. But Mobley, for as good as he's been, Jason, like I don't remember a ton of times where he was the pick and roll guy with Darius Garland.
Yeah.
And Donovan and Darius were two very different guards from an offensive standpoint in terms of how they use the pick and roll. Like Darius was more of a pass first guy in the pick and roll. Donovan was more getting downhill trying to score himself. I'm racking my brain for pick and roll plays that Evan Mobley's been involved with, and I don't have a ton of. So I'm curious to see, just like you, Bull, how he fits in with James Harden, who's going to tell him exactly how he wants him to set that screen, exactly how he wants him to roll, exactly where he wants. And from an athletic skill set standpoint, I wouldn't consider Evan a rim running big. He certainly could be.
Yeah.
Like he's long, athletic enough, coordinated enough that he certainly could be a rim running big. And those are the guys that have thrived with Harden.
Man, it's going to be a challenging. I mean, essentially, you're playing 2 games with James Harden, 3 games with Schroeder and Ellis before the All-Star break. And then at some point, I guess Max Strus is going to come back, right? Yeah. I don't know what his status is right now. The playoffs start in, 2 months? 3 months. February, March.
2.
Yeah, 2. Oh, we're in February. Yeah, a little over 2 months.
Starts in April.
We've got 30 games left.
you're going to have to work these, and then you're going to have to figure out what to do with Strus when he comes back. And it's going to be fascinating, and I just wonder, let's wrap up the Cavs with this. What do we think? You know what? I'm going to save this question because we're going to be joined by the fine folks watching us on the WKYC Plus app in just a few seconds. So I'll ask this question when we come back, even though we're not really going anywhere.
Not taking a break.
But first, let's do a read from Anthony.
Yeah, guys, if you want some more Cavs coverage, we have Ultimate Cavs hosted by Mikey McNuggets over there and joined usually by Jason Lloyd. Mike did a great 40-minute stream yesterday to kind of wrap up Cavs trade deadline. So if you want more Cavs info, go check it out. It was a great stream. He answered questions from the chat, even though he ignored mine.
You asked a question?
I did.
What was the question?
It was a question.
I don't remember what it was. It
I
probably
have
wasn't
3
that good.
seconds. Bull, you ready? 2.
And a big welcome to those of you watching on the WKYC Plus app. And for those of you watching on YouTube as normal, you might be, why is Bull thanking people? Normally at 12:30, we go on WKYC Channel 3 live, in addition, and not on YouTube on Fridays. But because we have Olympics coverage here on WKYC as an NBC affiliate, we are not on Channel 3 the next 3 weeks. And so we stay on YouTube, but also if you're watching on the WKYC Plus app, you are now watching us now. This is the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and we've been talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to get to the Guardians in a minute, but I'm trying to remember the question now that I was going to ask you guys.
Oh, this would be classic.
Right? You know,
30 games
question
left.
from
What's
yesterday.
their record? Is that what you're going to ask?
No, with I remember now. So if the Cavs are completely healthy going into the playoffs, which they haven't been, but if they're completely healthy going into the playoffs, they have a very deep roster. We know for sure that James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Jalen Tyson, Max Strus if he's healthy, right? Schroeder, Ellis, Sam Merrill, Dean Wade. Like, that's 10 guys already.
Yeah.
Is he going to play 10 guys?
One of the
And
guards.
who are the other 5? So the other 5
Tomlin, Proctor,
Bryant.
Larry Nance Jr., Craig Porter Jr.
Okay, so those 5 guys not playing at all in the playoffs.
Garbage time.
Garbage time only. Okay. Are they going to play 10?
One of the guards isn't making the rotation.
So who's out? Is it Strus because even though he's better than some of these guys because he hasn't played all year?
It's battle royale over the last 30
really
games to
fascinating.
figure it out, but they're fighting for a playoff spot. Those
Like, is
last couple
Dean
guards.
Wade definitely going to play? Do you have to, I mean?
They need a third big. You do need a third big.
Okay. So Dean Wade, who's probably the 10th best player,
He's
I mean,
playing.
is he their 10th best player?
Out of those 10 that you listed, I would
Yeah.
probably put him 10.
Right, but he's got to be in the mix.
He's playing.
So you either got to play 10 guys, which you don't usually do in the playoffs.
You can early.
Yeah.
Kenny
Again,
did last year.
Yeah.
Right.
You tend to cut back as the deeper you get.
Right.
You play less guys.
Right.
By the finals, you're playing 8 usually,
Right.
and trusting 7.
So I'm going to
Something
put
like
now.
that.
Obviously, there's a decent chance there'll be injuries. There always are, but I'm going to put it to you guys as the ball knowers. Who gets left if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Cavs are playing 8 guys, and we know that Dean Wade is not one of their best 8 guys, but he's their third big.
Again, I think it's matchup dependent. It depends on who the opponent is.
I'm not.
But you're asking questions you can't answer.
Let's say they're playing the Knicks.
All right.
In the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right.
And you're going down to 8 guys. Which 2 are out of the mix?
You're playing 8.
Yeah. Or are you going to say 9? Would he play 9?
Maybe
Yeah.
9.
All right, I'm
Probably.
8 or 9.
Okay. I'll say 9. So maybe who's the one guy who gets left out? Who are the options? Let's look at the options.
It's Ellis,
Ellis or Strus or Schrader or Schroeder.
Schroeder, Strus, or Merrill if he's not making shots.
Yeah, it'd probably be Sam. Would be.
You think Merrill's out?
If Sam's shooting the way he has this season, he's playing.
Yeah.
I think it could
It
be
might be
Strus
Schroeder. It might be Schroeder.
It might be Schroeder.
Yeah.
Or Ellis.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it could be Ellis.
because he's just. But Ellis is a guy. If you're winning late, you might want to bring him in for defense.
but that's not part of the rotation then. That's
Yeah,
a
so-
special
yeah.
circumstance.
When you get into a series, I mean, you're going to have. I almost said Darius. You're going to have James or Donovan on the floor at all times.
Right.
So I don't know that Schroeder is as crucial. They
Yeah.
typically like to play with 2 ball handlers.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need to have Schroeder out there. if you're going to have one
Well,
of these guys
especially
out
if it's
there all the
Harden,
time.
because he's going to be the primary
Yes.
ball. When the Harden lineups are out there, you can put more shooting and defensive guys around him as
Right.
opposed to Donovan, who pairs better with Schroeder because
Yeah.
he likes to have another playmaker.
And
creator.
Dean Wade is probably not going to play much. I know he's their third big, but, you could play Mobley and Allen 35 minutes each.
Yeah, they just don't share the floor that often. I mean, and they haven't. Maybe
Yeah.
Kenny with the new rotations will be more confident playing with two bigs.
But there is a scenario where you could play essentially 4 guards down the stretch of a game,
Good.
right? We can see. I mean, you can't force feed. If Dean Wade is a poor man's James Harden when it comes to reputation in the playoffs. I mean, he's been terrible.
Which, to go back real quick, Jason,
Yeah.
just to go back to where we started this whole show.
Right,
and
that's
we're
the one flaw.
And we're giving grades. They knew that was a flaw. They didn't
Yeah.
address it, which is why I go back to that.
It might have been hard to address. I mean,
Plus.
I'm sure it was.
It was
Yeah.
hard, and that's
Yeah.
why they didn't do it. I'm sure they tried to make deals for that. That's
Right.
just that's the one flaw you went into the deadline looking
Yeah.
at. Still circled saying,
yeah.
This
if you
is
had
option
that
A.
third big guy, like
I'm telling you, Dean
Yeah.
can do it. You're not asking Dean to make 5 threes a night and average. That would be 15.
but he's got to be able to make 2 or 3.
He has to be enough of a threat that teams have to be
Right,
aware
you
of
can't
where
play
he is
off
on
him.
the floor.
Yeah.
If they're playing off him, he's useless.
Yeah, if he takes 4 shots, he's got to make
2 of them.
yeah.
2.
Yeah. And just do enough so that they are aware of where you are, so that they're not loading up on one of the other
Yeah.
guys. Because he's going to defend, he's going to rebound, he's going to do all those other little things.
Yeah.
He just has to be able to be enough of a threat to make
Yeah.
open shots.
Last thing, I just think it's going to be interesting because if he doesn't want to play Jared Allen at the end of games, I think you're going to play with 4 guards because Dean Wade's not going to be on the court in the closing minutes of a game, is he?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think that's the preferred method.
Yeah.
But I also think there are certain circumstances where if you're playing a team that's bigger, you need size.
But at the
And-
end
I mean,
of
you
the
can
game,
you can go offense defense with
Yeah.
timeouts and substitutions. You can put Larry Nance out there for a defensive possession.
Jeez.
I'm just saying.
I don't like that idea.
I'm just saying. Like there will be games
Yeah.
where like those 5 guys that we said those are garbage time guys.
Yeah.
There's going to come a moment where
Craig Porter Jr. is in to pick a guy at 94 feet.
Yeah, right.
Or-
I getcha.
Or Tomlin.
yeah.
Tomlin's a better
Yeah.
option where he comes in for a few possessions.
Yeah.
Or you
Like-
put because I said Nance, you put Nance on the inbounder for size.
Right. Okay.
There's going to be little
All
pockets
right.
here and there where
it's going to be interesting. We
you
got
need
2
some of
months
those guys.
to see it come together. All right, let's switch gears and talk some baseball here. The question was, about Stephen Quan.
Yes.
So this time of year, MLB Network is doing their top 10 list at each position. And did you say that Stephen Quan was not in the top 10 left fielders?
No, so I was going to ask you who the shredder is, or
I
what
think it's
the
like their
shredder is.
computer
It's their
system.
computer.
Yeah.
So the shredder, which I guess
we
is
overrate
MLB
Stephen Quan. a
I've
little
said
bit.
that.
Yeah.
Well, so
years.
Yeah.
did you see the fan vote? So
You
he
said
was
he was
not
number 1.
So and if you want to pull up, it's at the bottom.
That's shocking.
The
You want the fan
shredder,
vote or you usually want the shredder vote?
the shredder vote
Let's
first.
see the shredder vote.
This is the MLB.com's the shredder.
right.
It's not a vote. I guess it's their
Yeah,
computer
it's a computer
system.
system. Yeah.
But this is the ranking
All
of
right,
their
so
top 10 left fielders.
how is Jaron Duran number 1?
Duran's up there.
Roman Anthony's barely been in the big leagues. Cody Bellinger hasn't even played left field, but he's going to this year. Left field is a weak position. Jeez.
Alvarez is going to DH. He's not even going to play the field this year.
Yeah, Riley Green. I mean, Alvarez should be number 1. He's the best. He's the best hitter of this
Yes,
list.
if he's healthy.
And Kyle Stowers had a great year last year. I mean, the fact that Marsh, who's a part-time player, is on the list. This is a bad list. Stephen Quan should be. As much as you and I agree, Quan's is a
He's on
little
that
overrated.
list.
He should be on this list.
I mean, I would probably.
So
why is this list is weird?
So
I
let's
don't
look
like
at let's
this
look at the fan vote then, because the
Yeah.
fan vote is completely different.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the guys on the shredder are young players who haven't proven it. I think it's more a projection of what they're going to be this
I don't like
year.
that one either.
That's terrible. Quan should not be number 1.
No.
That's
Well,
wrong.
this is a fan vote.
I agree. I think Jordan should be 1. I'd have Duran pretty high.
Yeah.
I would probably have Quan around 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You have him over James Wood.
I'd rather have James Wood, But right now, Stephen Quan's a better player than James Wood.
Bellinger.
But like you would if you asked any team, will you want James Wood or you want Stephen Quan? They'd take Wood.
They would definitely take Bellinger. I would take Bellinger over Quan.
All right, so guys that are no doubters over Quan in this scenario. Jordan Alvarez. Churio. Would take Durant.
Riley Green.
So Green.
Alvarez.
Bellinger.
Durant.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony. I know he only played a little bit last year.
To me, is
this time next year it'd probably be Roman Anthony.
Right, but I would have him ahead of Wood and Anthony. Stowers was fantastic last year. That's close. I mean, Ian Happ is just like a steady guy. He's a Gold Glover too. He's like Quan defensively. He's got more power than Quan, but Quan's better.
Yeah.
I'd have Happ ahead of him too, honestly.
So he's in the bottom half of the top 10.
I said 4 or 5. He's probably more realistically 6 or 7. Bull may have him even a little bit lower than that.
Yeah, I have Quan. I'd have him 3, 4. I'd probably have him 6th or 7th. Yeah, he'd definitely be in my top 10. But
and go back to the Shredder real quick.
He's not number 1.
So the Shredder had him not on here.
Shredder didn't even have Churio on there.
No, he does 9th. It's just hard to read.
Oh, I can't see that.
Yeah.
So the Shredder didn't have him. Fanvote had him first. There's obviously some sort of disconnect between whatever the computer.
Well, a lot of it was off from the fans. I mean, Bellinger should have been much higher with the fans. Maybe people didn't vote for him because he hasn't played left field.
Maybe
he's mostly been a center field, right field, and first baseman.
Great year last year.
He has wild swings. Like he has years where he's great and years where he stinks. But I mean.
So he's a top 10 left fielder.
I would take most of those guys over Stephen Quan.
Yeah.
Right? Like I wouldn't, not Marsh, and I guess you could argue, I mean, really, I'd rather have any of those guys besides Marsh.
So 9 and up on this list you'd have over Stephen Quan.
Not
as a better player, but you'd rather have.
I'd have Quan right now ahead of.
How's Happ defensively? You watch him more than I do.
He's a Gold Glover also.
Oh, you did win a Gold Glove?
Multiple. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But he doesn't hit for as good an average as Quan, and he doesn't steal bases like Quan, but he steals some bases, and he's got way more power, obviously.
Yeah.
I think to me, Quan should be near the bottom. Listen, Quan is a flawed player. He's an interesting player. He's a very unusual player. It's strange, like Quan is way more valuable to the Guardians than he would be to a lot. Like, you're not getting a lot for Quan in a trade. You're not getting some huge. Nobody's given up a ton for a singles hitter.
Yeah,
and as great as he is defensively, he plays left field.
I think they had opportunities to move him at the deadline where they would have got a pretty good package for him, but I think that they set such a high bar on him.
Yeah, probably too high because, again, like he's not like. I know he's a better player than Luis Ariz, but look at the contract Luis Ariz took in free agency.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand why the Guardians can't just come to an agreement with Quan. Maybe he's asking for way too much money.
It takes 2 to make a deal.
Because he is not going to get a huge contract.
He's never hit 300.
Never.
No. That's unbelievable. He was hitting close to 400 a couple years ago, and he's never even hit 300.
I mean...
And I don't want to crap all over him because he is a good player.
I like Quan.
And
he's
he means
a
a lot
good
to this
player,
team.
but he's not a star.
And with as bad as this offense is, it makes him look better than what he is.
He's a good starting major league player.
Yes.
But he's a good hitter. He's not some like all-time great hitter.
Right.
He has no power, very good speed, very good defense, but he plays very good defense at arguably the least important defensive position in left field.
Yeah.
If he was a center fielder,
which he should be.
He should be
100%.
How much higher does his value go up if he simply moves from left to center?
It goes up. It goes up, but he's still not a guy. If you don't hit for power, you're never going to be in huge demand. It's really that simple. If you can't even hit like 15 home runs,
he could hit 15.
Right, but he's not going to be a guy who consistently hits home runs. Yeah. He's not a power hitter.
I agree with that.
And so teams just don't value that much. He's a valuable player, and he'd be a better fit on a team that's loaded with power hitters.
Yeah.
Where you could have him lead off ahead of all these power
traditional leadoff hitter, like from the 80s, and guy
right. Like if you had
the ball in play.
Yeah, if you had him leading off for one of these great lineups,
like Toronto or something.
Yeah.
Toronto, the Yankees.
Yeah.
So I knew I was out of water when it came to this conversation with you two. So I just did a little bit of research on like Stephen Quan left field ranks.
Yeah.
Now ESPN had guys in their left field rankings that were not on that list.
Yeah.
Like
who?
Schwarber, for example, who DHs but
He's
plays
a
left
DH.
field.
He doesn't.
So I'm putting that out
well,
there.
Schwarber would be number one.
I'm putting that out there. So when you
Yeah.
so they had 20 qualified left fielders last year,
Okay.
and they cut it off at 129 games. But I know Schwarber didn't play 129 games in left field. So once again, grain of salt with these.
Yeah.
Out of 20 qualified left fielders, where do you think his OPS, Stephen Quan's, ranked last season?
This is American League only?
No.
No.
Oh, AL Ando?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I will say
20
let's see.
qualified.
His OPS was 740, right? What was it,
Seven-
Anthony?
705.
His OPS was 7. Oh, I think I was looking at his career OPS.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
705 is, I believe, slightly below average. I think the average now is about 710, 720, somewhere in that range. Yeah, 705. His career is 741, which is above average.
I would
Not
say
great.
he's probably 17th or 18th on that list.
Nah, I doubt he's that low. But I'm going to say 12th.
19th.
There we go.
You were right. Good job.
19th. He was there was 28 when you switched to home runs.
Yeah.
28 guys that qualified in left. Once again,
Yeah.
ESPN sorting.
Yeah.
He was 11th in home runs, 20th in RBIs, 5th in stolen bases, third in batting average. My conclusion:
Yeah.
bottom half of top 10, which makes me feel good that even my silly
yeah.
research
Yeah, I
came
don't
to
know
the
how the
same conclusion that you guys.
It's fascinating to fans. Like, it's not like Cleveland's got a huge fan
Yeah.
base.
Yeah.
It's fascinating that he ended up number one in the fan
Yeah, so
vote.
where do you think the disconnect comes from? Because a lot of the vote is national too. It's not just.
I think he's a player that fans like because he
plays
reminds
hard.
them of old school baseball.
Yeah, he plays hard. He
He
hustles.
plays hard. He does a lot of the little things that fans miss. Steals bases, plays good defense, runs the bases well.
Saves a
Gets
runner
hits.
from getting
He's
a
a
third,
singles hitter.
stuff like that.
It's funny because like Choreo was a top Uber prospect.
Yeah.
Riley Green was a top prospect a few years ago.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony was the number one prospect in basketball,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
baseball last year.
Yeah.
James Wood was a top prospect.
Yeah.
So
was Durant.
Quan was not. So for them
Right.
for the fans to still put him over on name recognition in terms of prospects coming
Yeah.
out, Quan would not be at the top of that
Quan
list.
was the least known guys of all these guys coming out of the minors.
Yeah.
Was Stowers a big name prospect?
Yeah, I mean, he got traded to the Marlins
Oh, he was a guy from Baltimore,
as
right?
part of the what was the trade? I think Trevor Rogers, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, Trevor Rogers.
But he had a magnificent season last year. He got hurt the last 6 weeks, but he was having
A really good year.
a really like an all-star caliber season until he got hurt. And so yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys were high draft picks. Ian Happ was a first-round pick. A lot of those guys, Roman Anthony. So yeah, listen. In the end, Stephen Quan's a good player. The Guardians should be able to sign him. If I don't understand why you wouldn't just do a 5-year, why they both wouldn't agree to a 5-year, $75 million deal. That's very affordable for both sides.
5 for 75?
Yeah.
15 a year?
I just don't see him getting much more than that.
What's he down to 2 years of control?
Yeah.
I think you would be fortunate to get 3 years. Maybe you could get, because you could buy out one free agent year.
Yeah.
I don't think he's giving away because I think he thinks he's worth a lot more than.
What is he going to get? I mean,
don't
I
know.
guess by then, maybe the money's higher. We'll see.
Yeah.
You want to give 5 100?
Would you do 5 for 100 for Stephen Quan?
Yeah, I would.
I would do it if I were the Guardians. Ultimately,
The Guardians would not. I mean, look at how much they panicked on getting off of Jimenez's money, which was 22-ish a year.
Quan's a
annually.
better hitter than Jimenez.
But the point is,
Yeah.
this is a whole. I don't want to go on this
Yeah.
diatribe because I don't want to go there. One day I will.
Yeah.
But the Guardians would not value Quan as a $20 million player.
Probably
But-
not, no.
But I think he could probably get 18 in free agency.
he's
from
not going to
somebody.
get a huge contract. I mean,
Do
listen.
you consider 18 a huge contract, though?
No,
No.
I don't.
Okay.
If he let's say by his last year before free agency, he hits 20 homers and bats 320. Maybe then. But I don't see him doing that. I don't know, but we'll see it still wouldn't shock me if they traded him between now and the start of the season.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I kind of expected it. They got so close last year, I think, to trading him that I kind of assumed that he would be traded this offseason. I'm a little bit surprised he's still here.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about a trade. Because Quan would actually be a great fit on the Cubs.
Always angling.
Would you do Ian Happ for Quan straight up? Like, does that work?
That wouldn't make sense for the Guardians because Ian Happ's free agent at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
But I think I would like Matt Shaw is the Cubs' best prospect. He was a rookie last year. He was terrible in the first half, but he was very good in the second half. I want to say his OPS in the second half of the year was over 800. The Cubs essentially displaced him when they signed Alex Bregman. Now, the Cubs have a few different guys who are free agents at the end of the year, so Shaw's going to kind of be a utility guy this year and maybe take over at second base, although I'd like them to re-sign Nico Horner, who's a very similar player to Quan. But the Guardians would have to give up more than Quan to get Shaw. But, like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I could see, like, the Guardians maybe trading, like, a good pitching prospect and Quan for Shaw. Like, that would make sense because you'd have Shaw for either 5 or 6 years.
They don't have a ton of high-level pitching prospects right now.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's another hitting prospect.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, like, Shaw would make – like, Shaw's a guy who, for the Guardians – if you traded Quan as part of a deal for Shaw, Shaw could end up being their second best hitter next year.
Yeah.
He could be a guy that hits 30 homers and steals 20 bases.
I would imagine maybe at this point they hold on to Quan and wait and see what you get from Valera and if DeLauder can stay healthy. Like,
right, yeah.
You're counting on guys who are never healthy.
And,
but if they establish themselves and you feel good about where you're going, you can trade a Quan at the All-Star break or at the trade deadline.
Right.
Or next year, you're not going to get a ton, especially with 1 year left to control.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they are so desperate right now for solidified, for consistent hitting.
Yeah. And they just have no power, no proven power besides Jose.
They are really counting on DeLauder and Valera.
Well, he's the surest thing if healthy.
Yeah.
But that's a huge if. Like Manzardo's a good player. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be good, but
I've heard really good things about Manzardo and Angel Martinez about the offseason that they've had. I just wish they would have signed a Eugenio Suarez for 1 year, DH him. I know.
You know, I heard this. Somebody forwarded me something that they're looking at. Allegedly, the Guardians there's some free agent hitter. I can't remember now who it was. It's a guy who's a part-time player, but I don't know. I wish I could remember. Anyway. Let's quickly, do you have to do a read before we do this?
No, let's just go
right. All right, let's quickly get to the Super Bowl, and then we'll get to Super Chats. Predictions for the Super Bowl, guys.
I'm picking the Patriots.
Okay.
I'm picking the Patriots. Vrabel in this situation in the past.
Are you taking the money line, or are you taking the
No, I think the Patriots win. I think the Patriots win this game.
Wow.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be ugly. I like both defenses more than I like the offense in this game.
Yeah.
I know Sam Darnold was basically perfect in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
He was terrible in the playoffs last year. He's been good. He didn't do anything in the San Francisco game when they won in the second round. So he's had one terrible playoff game, one great playoff game, one game where they needed to do nothing. I still haven't fully bought into the Sam Darnold is who he is situation, and I love Vrabel in these circumstances. Everyone's leaning Seahawks. I'm going against the grain. Give me the Patriots in an ugly, close game.
I'll take Seahawks. But it's actually, give me the Patriots. Oof. I have family from New England. I do think it's going to be a good game. Yeah. I think it'll be a really good game. I do think they're evenly matched. I got a lot of family from New England who's rooting hard for the Patriots, so I'll go with my family.
Yeah,
but my head would probably say the Seahawks.
I think it's going to be a one-sided game in Seattle's favor. Seattle's got the better offense. They've got the better defense. They've got the better special teams. I would argue right now Sam Darnold's the better quarterback. I'd rather have Drake May in the long term, but I think right now Sam Darnold's the better quarterback.
I think it's a debate.
Outside of the playoff game last year, Sam Darnold's been a great quarterback for 2 years.
He's been very good.
No, Week 18 and the playoff game last year. Those two.
I mean, everybody has a couple of bad regular season
I'm just saying, but those are the back-to-backs. They were de facto playoff games.
And how about this stat, guys? This is a big part of the reason why I'm picking Seattle. In their last 8 games, including their 2 playoff games, in 2 of those games they've played the Rams, and those have been high-scoring battles. In their other last 6 games of the last 8, they have given up 16 or less points in all of those games.
Yeah.
That is dominating defense.
Yeah.
The Patriots' offense has not been good in the playoffs.
No.
Go ahead.
Can I give you? I just wrote a story on this for The Athletic on this obsession in the red zone about take the points, go for it, that whole thing.
Yeah.
The Patriots were one of the best teams in the league at going for it in the red zone on fourth down, and the Seahawks almost always kick. Something to keep in mind. Seahawks kick. They led the league in red zone field goals, or close to it.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks, if they're in that position, will likely take the points. Patriots will go for it.
The Seahawks are the better team. Like my.
Yeah.
I just everyone seems to be on the Seahawks, and
Yeah.
when people count out Vrabel, that's when he finds a way to pull some
Never
magic
won a
out of his
Super
hat.
Bowl, so imagine.
Well, he's won some as a player.
Oh, as a player.
Yeah. But I just go back to the game where he had Belichick befuddled
Yeah.
with the clock management, taking the penalties, but the clock still runs, and he's got something up his sleeve. I don't have a football reason. There's genuinely not a football reason for me to pick the Patriots over the Seahawks in this.
Right.
But my gut says everyone's leaning this way. I think Vrabel's a better coach, but I think it's close. McDonald's a great coach.
I don't buy that everybody. I mean, it's only a 4.5 point spread. It's not like it's double digits.
That's the biggest spread in the Super Bowl I heard it was the last 7 years. They've all been 3 or under.
There used to be a lot of big spreads back
Used
in
to
the
be
day.
a lot of blowouts back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I got a 27-13 Seattle.
We're taking the under.
Under, yeah.
Give me 27-24.
It's 27-13.
You think New England's going to score 27 points?
I could, yeah.
Wow.
They
Also,
only
there's gonna
put
be a
10
pick
up on the
six.
Broncos.
What's that?
They only put 10 up on the Broncos.
Well,
Oh, that
the
weather.
second half was a I mean, listen. Once again, no football reason to pick the Patriots.
Yeah.
Other than a gut feeling, and I trust Mike Vrabel.
I can't even remember where the game's being played.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get the super chats before we say goodnight.
All right, first one comes from Dylan. He says, Bull, are you happy that your friend Mike Bajakin is QB coach?
What's with this guy?
I
It's
don't
gonna be
know.
the new joke.
That's a
of the
shtick,
show.
I guess. Yeah.
I love this bit. I don't know where it came from, but
Yeah.
It was the first chat, so I couldn't skip it or anything.
No, it's fine. I just don't.
it's Backagin, by
It's
the
just
way.
fine. It's fine.
Packaging?
Yeah, Bowl, Backagin, BBs.
I'm back in Backagin. Go ahead.
Pause.
All right, Gavin says, do you guys think Myles can be the first-time, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
The only way he wouldn't is if, the voters do this stupid nonsense about getting tired of voting for people, which happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It happens in the NBA. Hopefully it won't happen in the NFL. He's certainly going to earn it, I would think. Go ahead.
All right, DB Dog says, honestly, if I'm a defensive player, I've lost respect for Schwartz. He basically said, screw you guys. I didn't get what I wanted, so I quit. I know I'm still under contract, so what? You guys are on your own.
I guarantee you not a single player feels that way about him.
No. It's a business decision. They've all.
Yeah.
they've
I
all
get
been
it. Browns
on the
fans
spot.
are going to be angry about it. I understand.
If I'm the Browns, I would let him out of the contract, not make him sit out the year.
Right.
But that's just me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Chris Fox says, I work upstairs at Public Hall. See you at the game, Mikey.
There you go.
Oh, word. I'll be there Saturday.
Nice.
Jay says, they did take a QB, liked it, and it was not Darius Garland, Dylan Gabriel. Y'all hated it.
We said they didn't take a quarterback in the first round. Dylan
I
Gabriel's
didn't-
not any good.
I didn't understand.
It doesn't matter. Next.
Harden's from BW. Harden's star teammates are Dwight Howard, CP3, Russ, KD, Kyrie, Embiid, and Kawhi.
Yeah,
I forgot a bunch of guys.
He's had some very,
Well,
very,
some of those were the Thunder. I
KC
said,
guys.
but
Embiid's on
Well, he
that
played
list.
with
Embiid, another choker in the playoffs.
who won an MVP with Harden.
Yeah. And hasn't done anything since.
And last one comes from BW as well. Most intrigued with Harden's pairing with Tyson in the P&R as well. As a catch-and-shoot guy in the corner, curious about the fit with Mobley when they share the floor and Mobley at his best going downhill.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, the Mobley thing's the one kind of wild card because I think Kenny could go 2 or 3 different avenues with how he wants to utilize him offensively in those different settings. So
It's going to be interesting to find out. They'll try one thing one game and then try other things until they find the right combination.
And I want to say, don't freak if they end up getting blown out on Saturday.
Who cares?
Don't freak out.
You could tell people not to freak out. They will.
No, I know.
Yeah.
This is a learning process for them for April. Like, they have to get their ducks in a row by April, and sometimes to get your ducks in a row, I'll use UCS as an example, our rehearsals, you should have seen some of the lighting.
Oh, yeah.
And you should have seen some of the boxes and the graphics we had, and you have to learn
It
that
was
does
awful.
not work before you get to a place where you know it does work.
Yeah. All right, Anthony. Any more?
Real quick, we're out of super chats. You guys excited for the Olympics this weekend? Starts tonight on NBC, right here on Channel 3.
Jason dropped a hell of an article in the chat this morning about an Olympic investigation.
Oh, yeah.
We should do that as an overtime next week.
Yeah, that is bizarre. I am interested in the Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics.
I like summer better than winter, but I do enjoy the
I
winter
do like
as well.
summer better, but
And I don't like it when there's such a drastic time change. I'm not a fan of that.
I like
your favorite-
randomly at midnight being able to throw on some weird sport.
What's your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
It's a good question. I like the ice hockey. It's less interesting now that there's pros, but I like the ice hockey. I like the oh my God.
Curling?
Curling. Yeah.
I love
I couldn't think of what it's called.
Everyone loves curling.
I went curling with McMenamin in St. Paul. Did I tell you that?
No.
That was fun.
I heard
we had
there's a
my
curling
first
place in
radio job
Cleveland.
ever. We
There
had a
is.
curling place
There
right
is.
next door. I know. Yeah. Oh, look at that! I didn't forgot we had that. Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. I'm not locked in all the time, but I'm in and out.
We should
I'm in
do
the
a
mix.
team UCSS curling event.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Can
It
you
was
ice
fun.
skate? I can't. I'm so.
I have never worn ice skates in my
I
life.
can't in hockey skates. I can get around in figure skates. I mean,
On that note, we'll see you on Monday on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Peace.